terms are said to have been agreed already. Meanwhile, Villa are considering a double swoop for Premier League outcasts. Alejandro Garnacho is one of the names mooted at Villa Park, as is Chelsea's Nicholas Jackson. Here's talkSPORT's Alex Crook.
He's gone from first choice to third choice at Chelsea in terms of the striking department in the blink of an eye. And there is a relationship there. He played under Unai Emery in Spain. I think I mentioned to you a couple of days ago that there was the possibility of a link-up between those two. And I think Chelsea are open to offers for Nicholas Jackson.
So now we know how Andy Farrell's team will look for the opening Lions test. It's now all a question of how do they perform. talkSPORT's Lions pundit Ben Kay reckons the team's suboptimal performances against the Brumbies and Waratahs may actually help them on Saturday.
Sometimes you need that pressure and fear of losing to bring the best out of you. So I think he'll be happy with where they are going into this weekend. And I certainly, looking at the Wallabies side, would make the Lions favourites.
The first test is on Saturday morning. It's live on talkSPORT. Meanwhile, Arsenal women have confirmed they've signed the world's first £1 million player. 20-year-old Olivia Smith joins from Liverpool. Last year, Chelsea made Naomi Girma the first $1 million player. For all the latest transfer news, head to our live blog at talksport.com. Ahead of the undisputed world heavyweight title fight between Daniel Dubois and Alexander Usyk on Saturday, former 2-weight world champion Carl Frampton has told talkSPORT Dubois' best chance of winning will be in the first half of the fight.
I think he needs to start fast as well, and he definitely has a chance. Look, he's fighting an all-time great, in my opinion, and Alexander Usyk, who is the favourite, but Daniel's a better fighter than the one we seen when they fought the first time in Poland.
talkSPORT will bring you live commentary of the fight this Saturday, with the build-up beginning from 6 p.m. And don't forget to tune into talkSPORT 2 for live commentary of the Open throughout the day.
Good afternoon, how are you? You're listening to Drive here on talkSPORT with me, Shebahn Aherne and Andy Townsend, and for Andy Goldstein and Darren Bent coming up for you on today's show. We're going to discuss the new laws that could be introduced to football, no rebounds from penalties. We want to get your thoughts on that. A few people raging about that today. We're also going to be joined here in the studio by a man that's been in the ring with Alexander Usyk. Michael Hunter is going to be on the show. We also have Luton Town ledge Tom Lockyer here in the studio as well with us over the next half hour. Plus, we're building up to a huge night for the Lionesses. They've got Sweden in their Euro quarter final. It's live for you here on talkSPORT. Kick off at 8 o'clock. All of that. Plus, former British and Irish Lion Alex Cuthbert is here to discuss Andy Farrell's first test squad. And Andy will give us the lowdown. And Alex will give us the lowdown. And Andy will give us the lowdown on Aston Villa's new season. Drive on talkSPORT. You can get involved as well. 03717 22 3344.
S-H-A-B-B-E-R-N. Oh, Shebahn, good afternoon. That was great, wasn't it? That was Cass's attempt there. If anyone's just joining us and didn't hear that when he did that a week ago, that was Cass's attempt to spell your name.
God bless him.
And he failed miserably about 3 times. But it was very, very funny.
However, the panic that you had. Oh, I know this one. SBJ762.
Honest, it was brilliant. It was wonderful the way he tried to spell it. However, I did think to myself, with your name, because it's Shebahn.
Smashed it. Well done. Gold star.
How many times you must have to spell your name, right? Every day. Every single day. You ask your name and you have to spell it out for them. And that must drive you mad after a while.
But you know what, Andy? It's the people who go, are you sure it's not Shebahn?
Right, there you go.
Yeah, I've been making a mistake for the last 35 years of my life.
So I thought it was a text topic, right? 1889, get your text coming in. Someone must have a name. I mean, like the boy who plays for PSG, don't even go there.
Kvaratskhelia, yeah.
Right, I mean, I'm sure he has to spell it out. He ain't got enough hours in the day, poor man, right? But someone out there listening must have to spell their name everywhere they go, every day, and we're going to find out that name. Who's got that name that is a nightmare?
It's the Irish as well, like Aoife. I'm sorry, AOIFE. Maeve, M-A-B. What? Why have you put a B in there, Maeve?
Well, there you go. So we'll find out who's got a name a little bit similar to yours, where you have to keep spelling out. I don't know. I don't suffer with that. Mine, mine's pretty straightforward.
I like that.
There you go.
I like that. Most difficult names. Go on then. You can let us know your thoughts on that. By the way, we have to talk about this viral video that's going around on social media.
Yeah, I saw it.
Just get it out of my system and then we can move on.
I saw it on a train coming down. So it's a Coldplay gig, isn't it? And has he got actually control of the camera, Chris Martin, or someone found this couple somewhere up in the gods at the back of the stand?
It's the love cam, right? I would imagine at a gig, and it's focusing on certain people having a good time at a Coldplay concert, and then Chris Martin's kind of narrating the people who are coming on the screen.
Right, I got it.
And somebody's videoed the big screen, and on comes this guy, arms around.
Yes.
This lovely lady. Yeah. And then the two of them duck. As soon as
they see that they're on screen. They spin round and he disappears. He kind of tries to hit the floor in about a second.
She ducks and rolls.
She does, yeah. She spins around the other way. So something a little bit iffy going on there, I would imagine.
I mean, we're all jumping to conclusions that they've been exposed in an affair.
Well, you never know. But I tell you what, but they do that a lot in American sports, don't they? They do that.
The kiss cam.
The kiss cam and all that.
What would you do though if you were? I mean, just what would you do? I mean, that's one way of getting caught.
Well, I mean, again, I think if you're going to one of those, a concert, perhaps they may consider themselves a tad unfortunate to get spotted in 60,000 people. You know.
Right, producer Joe, it's out of our system now. He's looking at us like, move on from the Coldplay affair. But Google it if you haven't seen it already. Okay, we're going to start today by discussing potential new powers for VAR. Is it going too far?
They're going to disallow the goal here. This could be crucial in the race for the Champions League, and no one can understand quite why it's been disallowed.
Why that's been chalked off, I do not know.
That is the most controversial moment of Premier League final Sunday.
I don't get it, Perry. I don't get it. This is... Are they trying to find reasons to rule goals out sometimes? This is CSI Stockley Park.
No, the VAR now is more important than the referee. Much more important.
That is unacceptable. PGMOL, anyone at Stockley Park, you lot have taken centre stage again with your incompetence. That to me is an absolute disgrace.
Another VAR check. Stuart Atwell's watching this again and again and again. The ball's clearly landed on the arm of Mitoma.
All the managers, we have the responsibility to talk about the VAR. We are managers. Speak with the referees, please.
Have a look, draw the line, make a decision. I mean, look at them. This should only take them about 5 minutes, this one.
VAR just had to go and get involved and ruin our afternoon.
Yeah. Those three hated letters.
Yeah. And look, I can understand everybody's frustrations at this a little bit, Shebahn. You know what? There are very few passages of play, I would think, in sport where you go from exhilaration to despair back to exhilaration, which, if you think about it, penalty's given. Yes, we got a penalty, right? And then the despair of the guy that comes up to take the pen, either hits the bar, the post, or the goalie saves it. And then the exhilaration again when it comes back to someone and they knock it in, right? You know, that sort of up, down. You're going, and it's the opposite for the team on the other side of the fence. But even so, I think they're really dramatic moments in football. And why are we trying to get rid of them? Because they can't quite manage the edge of the box situation as well as they should. I think it's wrong, and I don't think they should do it.
Yeah, the reports are football's lawmakers may consider increasing VAR's powers to cover corner kicks and second yellow cards before next year's World Cup. IFAB could also be asked to look at a change in how penalties work. The ball is declared dead if the goalkeeper saves it, as Andy was saying, and therefore a rebound cannot be scored. Yeah. Alan Brazil was alongside Dean Saunders on talkSPORT Breakfast this morning, and it's fair to say they weren't happy with the whole thing.
Who are these people then now? Shouldn't they have, I know Arsene Wenger's involved in some of it.
IFAB are they called, something like
that? But have they ever played football?
No, iTube, I think they're called iTubes.
Have they played football? Or have they like been involved in football?
Probably not.
Like Arsene Wenger, for me, would be ideal for sitting down with people and saying, if you do that rule, you're going to ruin it.
Yeah.
If you do this rule, it might help. But you've got to have a few experts there who actually can see what the issue's going to be if you change the rules.
No, do you know, I get dismayed, honestly.
So that's the thoughts of Alan Brazil and Dean Saunders. Yeah, I mean, it's easy to just dislike VAR. Now they're looking to change things again. Yep. But as you mentioned, the exhilaration, the excitement that can come with scoring on a rebound or a double save from a keeper. You know,
do you know, one of the guys upstairs, just before we come down to the studio, Shebahn, showed me the double save by... I think it was Chesney
talking about,
against Dirk Kuyt, when it was at Anfield. Dirk Kuyt comes up, takes the pen. It's saved by the goalie, but kind of goes back towards Dirk Kuyt, and he's having to wait for it, and eventually gets the rebound. But Chesney flies to his left to get another hand on it and push it round the post. I mean, they're brilliant, unique moments in our sport, and why would you want to try and get rid of them? As I mentioned earlier, because we don't quite marshal, or finding it difficult to marshal the edge of the box when penalties are being taken. I would have thought that would be quite clear and quite categoric. If they wanted to sort that out, they can easily see at the moment of impact who's encroached, who hasn't. They could easily change that back to a more simplified way. But again, look, these aren't rules that are in place yet, Shebahn, are they? These are being sort of thrown out there. These are being discussed. Is that right?
This meeting. So it's a laws of the game meeting, which is in March. And then any of those laws would come into force from June the 1st, which means it would then go to the World Cup. In 2026. Is that a good place to trial it before it just hit in the Prem?
I don't think so. I think it would be the last place you'd want to trial anything at a World Cup. I mean, again, there's ramifications involved in that. If it's not particularly good, if it's not well received, but again, it spoils I think the intrigue and the flow of the game. If all of a sudden, apparently, what's being shouted is that if the penalty is struck and it hits the post, if it hits the bar or the goalie saves it, then it stops, and it's a goal kick. And I don't know, that to me is a bit of a bizarre one. And I think there are other rules, more pressing situations in our game that need sorting out before them.
Yeah, I mean, also this thing on the corners as well, like having a say on corners or whatever like that.
Yeah.
We're thinking of the minutes getting added onto the clock.
Correct.
You're now looking at 100-minute games, Andy.
Probably. I would imagine maybe. I wonder whether the clubs themselves and managers, Shebahn, have got a little annoyed at perhaps a corner being given when it wasn't a corner, and the ball comes into the box and someone heads it in the back of your net. Perhaps some of the coaches and some of the players have got a bit fed up with that. I can sort of see.
I can kind of see why that's a decent step in the right direction.
Perhaps they would perhaps it would seem pertinent to check those corners and make sure it is a corner in the first place. But some of the other stuff, as usual, I think is a bit bizarre.
Yeah, absolutely. A bit of a headache when it comes to VAR. If you're out and about today and you want to have your say on this, get it off your chest. Are you in support of this, the new changes for VAR? Or are you absolutely flat out against it? Pick up the phone. 03717 223344 is the number if you would like to have your say on Drive on talkSPORT.
2 years ago, the controversy surrounded, was it a low blow, wasn't it a low blow?
I'm sure we'll see it again, but the crowd are booing as soon as it landed. You can see the pain on Usyk.
This is what I want, and now we're getting it. It's a big show, and we're going to put it right.
Gets Shebahn going, and now Shebahn's coming back.
Hello, how are you today? You're listening to Drive here on talkSPORT. It's Shebahn and Andy Townsend with you with Motorpoint. Thousands of cars, all at unbeatable prices, guaranteed. All you have to do is head to motorpoint.co.uk for more details. Still to come for you on the show today, we're going to be joined here in the studio by former Luton captain and legend himself, Tom Lockyer. Is going to be with. What a nice guy. Football's good guy.
Football's good guy. I'm really looking forward to speaking to Tom and what the future holds.
Big into his golf as well.
Is he?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So we'll talk about the Open with him as well. Just quickly, by the way, Canada forward Olivia Smith has become the most expensive signing in women's football history by completing a £1 million move from Arsenal. Sorry, to Arsenal from Liverpool, by the way. Sensational.
Good player.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Runs rings around whoever she can get near. Honestly, she's absolutely stunning. So, yeah, huge sign.
I've got an observation about the Euros. Too many shots, or a lot of goals, seemingly, Shebahn, going in from just outside the box. Right. And I don't know why. If you actually have a look at a lot of the goals that have been scored, I don't think the girls are getting close enough closing that ball down. There's so many goals going in from the edge of the box. Top corner jobs. Now they're very difficult for the goalies to get.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that they are. They're not when they're right up in the corner, but too much room on the edge of the box to have to take shots. Have a look. Keep an eye on the game.
Thank you for pointing that out. Also, the Lionesses against Sweden, live here on talkSPORT tonight, 8 o'clock. Man United, by the way, have made an improved bid to sign Brown and Burmell from Brentford worth £65 million plus £5 million in add-ons. Alex Crook joins us later. He'll give us the latest on what's happening there. And could it finally be about to be wrapped up? It's taking its time.
It's taken a while, that one, but you would think now that they're inching extremely close to getting it done.
Yeah, hopefully. Also, we can get an update from the Open Championship now at Royal Portrush, because watching for talkSPORT is Mr. Sean O'Brien. Sean, how you doing?
I'm good, Shebahn. We've been watching golf for nearly 10 hours and it feels like the main event just started. Northern Ireland's Rory McIlroy is on the golf course and it's been a blockbuster start. He missed a tiddler for par at the first, lost his drive way left at the second. Everyone can see that he's nervous. We're all thinking of that horrible first round in 2019 and fearing the worst. But he recovered at the second to make an unlikely birdie and he found the green at the third. Let us all kind of breathe one big sigh of relief with a fairly routine par. But then he goes and sprays another one miles left at the fourth. So this is going to be a stressful watch. Earlier today, away from Rory, Matt Fitzpatrick grabbed the share of the clubhouse lead at 4 under. He's alongside Jacob Skov-Olesen and Haotong Lee at the top of the leaderboard. England's Matthew Jordan's one shot back, and so is world number one Scotty Scheffler, despite a bit of an existential crisis in the press room earlier this week. And Lee Westwood rolled back the years to finish 2 shots off the lead. So plenty happened already before Rory teed off, but it's all about Rory now, and there's live coverage over on talkSPORT 2.
Lovely stuff. Sean O'Brien, watching for us on talkSPORT 2. You can get all of the action on the talkSPORT app just now. Just swipe across to talkSPORT 2. By the way, imagine Lee Westwood. He's like the new talkSPORT breakfast pal.
Do you know? Yes, he is. And I've heard Lee a lot on breakfast. He's great, and no surprises that he started very well. I mean, the course and the conditions at Portrush, you would think experienced golfers that have played a lot of British links courses over the years would do well and should do well. Should do well. Do you know, actually, Shebahn, right? There's a really good little game you can have where I'm sure loads of people do it. You have to pick a UK player, a European, an American, and a rest of the world player. And what you do, you add all their sort of scores up after each round. You know, and you can have a few quid on it amongst your family, and it's something you all pick a player, pick one of those, and keep tally on the scores. It's really good. It's really interesting. I'm doing quite well as it happens, by the way, so far.
Cute story, by the way, in the papers today. On the 13th hole at Royal Portrush, there's a man there who is marshalling the hole.
Right.
Okay, as you do, getting everyone keep the eyes down, quieten down, whatever. And Rory yesterday in the practice session went up and gave this guy a hug, and they were chatting away. It turns out it was Mike Gibson, the former British and Irish Lion, who's marshalling the 13th hole. How sweet.
Right, how good's that?
Like we say, all of the Open live for you over on talkSPORT 2. Let's talk about this now, shall we? Because Newcastle are reportedly exploring a move for Brentford striker Yohan Wissa after pulling out of a deal for Frankfurt's Hugo Ekitike. Liverpool have also targeted Ekitike as a possible alternative to Alexander Isak. Wissa also a target for Tottenham and Nottingham Forest. Let's start with Wissa, shall we? How highly do you rate him, Andy?
I think he's developed a lot over the last over the period since Ivan Toney has left. I mean, he was very, very good. Him and Burmo and Toney, they were always a handful. I think he's developed a lot in the last season. If you're a Brentford fan, you'd start to panic a little bit on how many are, going out the door. They've already lost Norgard, and Burmo is imminent. If it's the manager and if it's Wissa as well now, you would start to think, hold on a minute, where's this going to stop? And what's coming in through the door the other way? But going back to Wissa, good runner, can play in a wider area as well as up the middle. Great work ethic, as all those Brentford boys have got. That's why they're popular. That's why they're desired, because they don't stop running. So I think he's a decent player. I do.
I mean, talk to me about your thoughts on the Isak situation as well. I mean, do you think now that Liverpool are now targeting Ekitike, this was all part of a power play in the first place?
I think their intent with Isak would have been very, very genuine. And look, whether it's now going to go away if they get Ekitike done, but it doesn't surprise me, Shebahn, that Newcastle would probably want to hang on to their prized asset, even though you can imagine Isak's head will have been turned a bit. There is no question of that. Would he want to go to Liverpool? Look, I don't know, but probably he would most certainly be very, very tempted to have a discussion, or his agent will. And for Liverpool, I mean, it would be an incredible signing. Ekitike, by the way, 6'3", can again play wide, can play down the middle. He's got that same sort of physique as Isak. He's lithe, he's quick, but he's strong and robust. He can score good goals. Still in his career is still in its infancy, really. At Paris Saint-Germain, he never perhaps figured anything like as much as he would have wanted to. Went to Germany, scored a load of goals, particularly last season, and looks a very, very good player, and a player at 23 that's going to have a lot of potential.
Okay, a lot of you want to have your say on the new potential changes happening with VAR. 03717 223344 is the number to have your say on Drive. Hello, Ryan, the Southampton fan. Ryan, you doing okay?
I'm good. How are you both?
Yeah,
good,
really
Ryan.
Well, thanks, Ryan. Can't complain. I mean, what's your thoughts on the new powers that VAR may have?
Well, people have heard me on here before. I'm not a broken record with it. So I ditched my season ticket last season when we're in the Premier League. I don't want to be part of VAR at all. I've got it again this season back in the Championship because I feel, as apparently we're the only second tier in the whole of Europe that doesn't have VAR, I would make an argument that we're probably possibly the highest level of football in the world that is untainted in the Championship at the moment. So when the flag goes up, we cheer. That's it. Or if the flag's not up, we cheer. That's it. It's done. And that is what I feel the experience is. So I feel that as it's encroaching more and more, this striving for the perfect game is taking the human element so far away from what we enjoy about the game that I feel that kids just will switch off. I mean, they've got to be careful because their interests are changing now anyway. We used to wait for 3 o'clock in the afternoon to see what one game was on or to catch the FA Cup final. So we really lusted after football. Now it's sort of thrust in your face, but it hasn't even got the enjoyment element anymore. It's like, what are you going to do? Go into a stadium just to wait for 5 minutes while someone in the screen checks something?
So, Ryan, were you happy when Southampton went down because you were like, okay, I won't have VAR?
Oh, I was so relieved.
Mate.
So relieved. Because I literally wanted to. It's not even the loss of the games. I'll quite happily lose in and get relegated and enjoy it as long as it actually had a decent experience. But I don't want to be part of waiting around. I mean, I feel that really talkSPORT are missing a trick, because a lot of pundits and a lot of older, especially sort of pundits and people in the game, in presenters, they say how bad it is. They keep going, oh, this is going too far, too far. No one starts a campaign against it. I don't know why anyone, no one really is looking into the future of this game, because there's a lot of money in it, and it's all built on what was there before, the allure of it over the last 100 years. And now, if there isn't, the next generation's really getting into it. I mean, there is obviously, kids love football, but I still feel that there's just that trick of the actual experience that will go. And once that's gone, I feel the numbers will drop and it won't be that successful a sport.
Ryan, let it all out. Thank you so much for your say on Drive. 03717 2222.
Do you know, Shebahn, we've had quite a few texts in already. Let me just try and find one with regards to the rebounds, right, and scrapping that. We wouldn't have had that incredible Troy Deeney moment, right, for Watford all those years ago, had this rule been in place then. And that is one of the most iconic. I mean, Troy, I'm sure, quite rightly, has dined out on that little incident many, many times, because it was an astonishing moment in an astonishing game, and there was so much at stake, and for it to literally, a penalty that should never have been given was given. The goalkeeper makes a save and very quickly transferred down the other end, and Troy doing what he does best. That would never have happened. We wouldn't have seen that. So again, such a brilliant moment. We've had a number of texts on those. Thank you. I think Mike from Kent was the first one.
Thank you, Mike. And when do you draw the line? If they're going to make these changes now, what's next? What comes after it? It's starting to really, if it hasn't already, ruined football for a lot of fans. Okay, time now for this. We've been discussing potential changes to VAR here on Drive on talkSPORT. So we want to know who was the first player in Premier League history to have a goal disallowed by VAR. The first player in Prem history to have a goal disallowed by VAR. If you know that.
No, I don't. But someone will.
If you do know this off the top of your head, send your CV into talkSPORT. I'll tell you the answer next on Drive.
The transfer saga of the summer appears to be centred around Hugo Ekitike. What's the latest? Well, talkSPORT understands Liverpool have tabled a verbal offer of around £70 million. Personal terms are said to have been agreed already. Meanwhile, Villa are considering a double swoop for Premier League outcasts. Alejandro Garnacho is one of the names mooted at Villa Park, as is Chelsea's Nicholas Jackson. Here's talkSPORT's Alex Crook.
He's gone from first choice to third choice at Chelsea in terms of the striking department in the blink of an eye. And there is a relationship there. He played under Unai Emery in Spain.
So now we know how Andy Farrell's team will look for the opening Lions test. It's now all a question of how do they perform. talkSPORT's Lions pundit Ben Kay reckons the team's suboptimal performances against the Brumbies and Waratahs may actually help them on Saturday.
Sometimes you need that pressure and fear of losing to bring the best out of you. So they'll be happy with where they are going into this weekend. And I certainly, looking at the Wallabies side, would make the Lions favourites.
Ahead of the undisputed world heavyweight title fight between Daniel Dubois and Alexander Usyk on Saturday, former 2-weight world champion Carl Frampton has told talkSPORT Dubois' best chance of winning will be in the first half of the fight.
He needs to start fast. He definitely has a chance. Daniel's a better fighter than the one we seen when they fought the first time.
talkSPORT will bring you live commentary of the fight this Saturday, with the build-up beginning from 6 p.m. What up? How you getting on today? You're listening to Drive here on talkSPORT. Tom Lockyer in the studio with us, but before we get to him, we asked you no Googling who was the first player in Premier League history to have a goal disallowed by VAR.
I've seen loads of texts coming in, Shebahn, so I've cheated. I'm going to tell you straight, I have cheated, so I do know who it is.
Who is it then?
Gabriel Jesus.
It is indeed.
Yeah.
For Manchester City against West Ham in 2019, during the birth of VAR, when football stopped being fun for everyone. Still to come for you in the show, by the way. We're going to be looking ahead to the Lionesses Euro quarter-finals against Sweden, live tonight on talkSPORT, 8 o'clock kick-off. But now, in just over 2 weeks' time, Friday the 1st of August, Luton Town get the new EFL season underway when they host AFC Wimbledon live and exclusively over on talkSPORT 2. So who better to look forward to this game than former Luton Club captain Tom Lockyer. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hi guys, thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming in. It's good to have you here. How are you doing?
Yeah, not bad, thanks. It's obviously been a very strange 2 years for me now, and we just talking then off here. I feel like I've already been retired for 2 years already. So yeah, just trying to recover from this ankle injury, which is quite strange actually. A lot of people come up to me and say, "How's the heart?" and it's quite hard for me to say, well, it's actually the ankle. And I know they mean well, but this was a lot harder to take than the actual heart problem itself.
What was it you snapped in the ankle? What was it? What went?
So it was the deltoid ligament, which is probably the main ligament you need to change direction. So try playing football without one of them is going to be quite hard, isn't it? So that was only supposed to be 3 months. Got 2 months down the line with that after the operation, and they said the operation hasn't worked. You're going to have to go again. So yeah, when it rains, it pours. I think that was 9 months ago now. But these journeys, it's like with injuries. Like one day I wake up and I'm like, I'm ready to call it a day, and then today I've had a really, really good day, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to be back in a month. So plenty more ups and downs, I'd imagine. But
you're probably in that period in your life, in your career, Tom, where you go through that, Shebahn, on when you're getting towards the end of your playing days. Everyone always tells you keep going till you literally can't lift a leg. But in the back of your mind, you've also got your own personal pride, and you've got everything else, and you're earning money. And let's not ignore the fact that football's a very well paid profession, so you've got the chance to still earn good money. but you also know that you want to go out, as I just said to Tom off air, you want to go on your own terms, don't you? You want to go when you're ready. And if you do feel you've still got a bit left in the tank, mate, then I would suggest get your head down and keep going, because it will hit you one day. You'll jump in the car one morning and you'll go, no, I've had enough. I don't want to do this anymore. And that's the point when you knock it on the head.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. I think when this happened, especially the heart thing, it was, obviously it was hard to take, but like I was under no illusions that I will get back. So then to have this, to be so close, I was 2 days away before playing the first game back, to then go over in training and have this, it was so hard to take. But I'm not ready yet. As mad as that sounds, and people are saying don't take the risk, and I've been working with Christian Eriksen's cardiologist now for the last 18 months, and every time I do a bit of exercise, he sees an ECG of every heartbeat I've done. So if there was any doubt, I'm a dad now, I'm not going to take the chance, do you know what I mean?
Of course not.
And like you said, I want to go out on my own terms, and if at the end of this rehab with my ankle I can't get back to a level I'm happy with, or no one's willing to take a chance, because let's have it right, there's politics involved now as well. Clubs will be looking at me going, we like what you've done, but you haven't played for 2 years, and there's always that risk in the back of their head. So I'm fully aware of that. But that being said, I want to get to a place I'm happy with. I want to have a good ankle first and foremost. I want to be able to chase my daughter around the field.
Of course.
But if then I can play professional football at the end of it, I'd love to. So that's where I'm at with it. And that's good. You're on top of it already. You're sort of already there, and you're mentally, where you are. And again, the other thing I would say to you is, as a footballer, we're always programmed, Tom, aren't we, to get to sort of, 35, 36, 37, as long as you can. Keep going. And sort of then what? Well, I can tell you, the bit after you've finished playing, you've got a lot of life to live, and there's a lot of fantastic living to be done, particularly with your family. You're denied a lot of things with your family, Shebahn, when you're playing the game.
I bet.
All your Christmases and stuff like that. I know it's petty to
no, it's not, because that's the real stuff in life, isn't it?
Well, once the playing side stops, all of those sort of things, and some travelling that you might have wanted to do with the family, etc., all that stuff you can then start to pick up on, and there's a lot of great years you're going to have in the future, the other side of playing, for sure.
We wish you all the luck, Tom, whatever it is you decide to do, because we were discussing this earlier on. You're a football's good guy. Everybody has a soft spot for you and everything that you've been through, so we hope that it's exactly the way you want it to be. Good time to have you with us as well, because we're looking ahead to the new season, obviously, for Luton. I mean, double relegation, hard times at the club, I would imagine, with the fans as well. Yeah, absolutely. Coming down from the Premier League, you obviously like to think you bounce back straight away. Obviously that's not the case, and to get relegated I think was a bit of a disaster. That being said, now this is probably, you'd say, rock bottom for the club at the minute, from where it was 2 years ago, and just needs a bit of a reset, bit of a clear out, and I think that's starting to happen now. There's not many survivors left from the double relegation, which I think is what's needed if we're going to be brutally honest. As well as they're good players, the scar tissue that carries over from 2 relegations. So the new manager's come in. Been really impressed, to be honest, really impressed, and he's talked about not losing the Luton of old, but almost building a new culture, a new environment, because that old one's gone. You can't have double relegations and keep the same culture. It just doesn't work like that, does it? You've been in change rooms long enough, and the signings that have been made already, been really impressed. I thought we were lacking a lot of experience last year, and that's been addressed straight away. Carl Naismith's come in the building, Naki Wells, who I still think can score a hell of a lot of goals in League One this year. George Saville, another one. We've really addressed, I think, what was a big issue for us last year. Cardiff as well, in the same division. You've got a soft spot for Cardiff and Luton, like who you? What's your vibe? Yeah, well, Cardiff released me when I was 15, so I'm still. Get them in the bin. I'm still a little bit bitter, if I'm being honest with you. They broke my heart. I had a season ticket down there and everything. Wow. I was, and then it's mad. They say never work for your club, don't they? And Cardiff done me dirty, man. What about your mate though, Gareth Bale? Do you know anything about the whole Gareth Bale taking over at Cardiff?
No. Yeah, when I seen it, I knew it was when he was linked with Plymouth. I knew it wasn't that. But if there's one thing about Gaz, he's an incredible footballer, but he's more shrewd as a businessman.
Right. Is he really?
Yeah, he's. I remember one Wales camp when him and Wayne Hennessy were playing PGA PS5 down in the games room together, and Gaz goes, "Oh, let's play against each other in our own rooms," and Wayne was like, "Oh, but we have to get PlayStation Plus to do that, which is like the online subscription or something." And he's like, "How much does that cost?" He's like, £6. He goes, "I ain't paying that." he was at Real Madrid at the time as well. I was like, what chance have we got? So
brilliant.
As they say, these rich people are richer because they do not spend £6 on a subscription. That's fascinating. Also, what we're going to ask you about as well with the Birmingham and Wrexham and stuff like that. I mean, have you got a thought on these teams, the big money takeovers coming in, big Hollywood faces, etc.? I mean, are you excited to see that in football? I am, actually. I do quite like it. And if someone wants to come in and invest their money, who are we to tell them they can't? That's my opinion on it. As long as it's, we don't end up with a Bury or something like that, which is worst case. But you'd like to think that regulations are in place now to prevent that. So yeah, I love it. And I think especially with the names associated with it, you'd like to think that we'd never end up in that situation because it's almost personal. You see Ryan Reynolds and Tom Brady, as two, they don't want to be associated with a disaster or whatever. So I would like to think they're coming with good intentions, massive plans. And I think it's just good for the sport. It brings a lot more eyes on us. I was looking at the Championship earlier. I think it's going to be really, really competitive next year. I can see Birmingham being right up there, and I can't see Wrexham in the relegation zone. No. So,
is management and coaching something that you'd want to consider, Tom?
Management, no.
Right.
No. Coaching, yeah, potentially.
The reason I say that because you're incredibly popular player at a club like Luton, and there are more opportunities, should I say, for guys such as yourself who had a great career at a certain club to maybe find themselves coming through the system and getting that sort of job. Mm-hmm. But that's something that doesn't necessarily appeal.
Management, no. I've seen the stress that my managers have been under over the years, even the successful ones. I mean, look at Rob Edwards. He got Luton promoted to the Premier League for the first time in the club's history, and within 6 months he was a shadow of his former self, and that's just not a sort of pressure I want to put on myself or ever. I don't want it enough to be honest with you. And I think if you want to go into management, you have to want it day in, day out. You have to put the work in, and you don't leave it at the door either. You bring it home to your family, and that's not something I really want to do. But coaching on the other side, I think that's a little bit more. You can almost leave it at the training ground. Yeah. And like you said, the families go through it a lot when you're playing. They're almost passengers on this journey. And I've been so lucky that my missus has followed me around the country and away from home, raising a little one on her own a lot of the time. And she's been a real rock. And going into management is not something I want to put her through.
Oh, that's a good shout.
Very well said. Good for you. Tom, you're going to stay with us because when we get a superstar guest in the studio, we just take their name and make a feature from it. So stay with us because Tom Lockyer's Tom's Lock It In is coming up next on Drive.
Nearly 2 years ago, the controversy surrounded, was it a low blow, wasn't it a low blow?
I'm sure we'll see it again, but the crowd are booing as soon as it landed. You can see the pain on Usyk.
This is what I want, and now we're getting it on the big show, and we're going to put it right.
Gets Shebahn going, and now Shebahn's coming back.
How are you getting on today? You're listening to Drive here on talkSPORT. It's Shebahn Aherne and Andy Townsend with you. Tom Lockyer is here as well with Motorpoint. New car with same-day drive away available on all cars, and you can book a test drive today. Still to come on the show for you. We're going to look ahead to the Lionesses. They've got quarterfinals action tonight against Sweden on talkSPORT, 8 o'clock. And just quickly, Jude Bellingham is expected to miss at least the first 6 weeks of the new season after undergoing surgery for a long-standing shoulder issue. That's a shame. We can get an update now from the Open Championship. It's all live on talkSPORT 2 at Royal Portrush. Watching for us, talkSPORT's Shebahn O'Brien.
Yes, there's another Englishman on the first page of the leaderboard. Aaron Rye, the only man in golf with 2 gloves and iron head covers. He's gone out in 33 and he's suddenly 1 shot off the lead, held by Matt Fitzpatrick, Jacob Skov Ollison and Hao Tong Lee, who are all in the clubhouse. Just an interesting story, 1 shot back as well. South Africa's Christian Bezuidenhout. He's got a really, really interesting backstory. He was banned from playing at the 2014 Amateur Championship here at Portrush because of the use of beta blockers, which he used to cope with anxiety and speech problems after he swallowed rat poison as a toddler. He still has to deal with the impact of all of that today. So there's an underdog worth rooting for out here, and someone everyone's rooting for. Rory McIlroy. He's moved to 1 under. He just hold a 20-footer for birdie at the incredibly scenic 5th hole down by the beach. His best mate Shane Lowry put himself in the mix earlier on with a 1 under par 70. So did John Rahm, just to mention a couple of guys from the morning wave. So Rory's on the charge, and you can listen to live coverage over on talkSPORT 2.
Love it. Shebahn O'Brien, thank you very much. Like we say, all on talkSPORT 2. Tom Lockyer is with us. You're into your golf now. I mean, why are you putting yourself through that?
It's funny that my missus said to me the other day, she says, why do you even go to golf? You never come home happy.
By the way, Scotty Scheffler was speaking for a lot of women.
Yeah.
What is the point?
Yeah, he was. But what handicap, Tom?
9 at the minute. Yeah.
Is it true that Gareth Bale could be a professional golfer?
So the last time I spoke to him, his best ever round was 4 under. So yeah, pretty impressive.
That's very good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
What's yours, Anne?
Well, I'm 9. I'm 9 handicap, but I've been playing so bad recently. Yesterday I played, and I was thank goodness I was a little bit better. But that's the intrigue with golf. You play, Shebahn?
I'd like to. I mean, I've done lessons, then I had the kids, and I don't have time. Yeah.
But I tell you can play one day, Tom, can't you? And you can think to yourself, do you know what? I'm playing half decent, and you can walk out the next day and be so far in the other direction you can't even work it out.
The women's clubs are great as well, because now they do like champagne Saturdays where they stop and like halfway house. Yeah. They share a bottle of Prosecco, off they go again. I'd be writing about that.
And there'll be 4 lads behind you going, hurry up, come on, drink them up, get going.
Don't forget all of the open action live for you and over on talkSPORT 2. Okay, so Tom Lockyer is with us, so we like to have a little bit of fun. It's time for this.
Goal line clearance. Tom is always in the right place at the right time. Stunning defending by Lockyer.
Can take a touch before delivering a second ball. Lockyer! 2-0 Luton.
You like that package? Well,
yes.
Yeah, not a clue what the clips were from. No, not a clue. Not heard any of them before. You just recorded them then, have they?
Yeah, we jumped them out earlier on. Time for a new feature. Tom Lock It In. This is where we ask Luton Town legend to lock in a range of predictions ahead of the new season getting underway. So we're set you a range of questions about the new campaign. All you need to do is give us your prediction and then lock it in. Tom Lockyer, lock it in. right? And you have to say, lock it in.
Lock it in.
Right, okay. Will Liverpool make it back-to-back Premier League titles?
I think that they will.
Oh.
I think they will.
Based on what, Tom? Why?
I really like the business they've done. Yeah, really like the business they've done.
Finished yet,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Kirkes, Florian Wirtz.
Ekitike looks like it might be happening.
Yeah, and you know, if Isak joins as well, I think it's game over. I really do. If he joins, I cannot see. I think they'll win it anyway, but if he joins, then I just think the depth they've got then is crazy.
Biggest threat to them?
I think Man City. I think Pep's hurt. I think Pep is hurt, and he'll
respond.
A little wounded animal is ready to attack, and he's a born winner. He's a born winner, and he will not have enjoyed last season, and I can see him coming back with a vengeance.
So locking that in.
Lock that in.
Love that
Liverpool.
from you. Okay, speaking of Pep, but will Erling Haaland regain his crown as Premier League top scorer?
Oh, yeah. I think so. Yeah, it's hard to see past him. It is really hard to see past him. I know we mentioned Isak. If he joins Liverpool, maybe.
That looks like that's going a bit off.
Yeah, I can't see him doing it at Newcastle. So yeah, I will lock Haaland in. I think he will.
Okay, good choice. Will an English side win the Champions League like this one?
Oh, no.
Why?
No. I know they just lost the obviously the Club World Cup, but PSG I think at the minute are just. I know it's hard to go back to back for them, but they're just. I just love the way. They're playing everyone together. I love that team spirit, and it was always going to be tough post Mbappe and Messi, but I think the job Luis Enrique's done is sensational. If they can do a good bit of business over the summer, then I think Liverpool, if we could talk in English teams, I just really like the look of Liverpool going into this season.
Not even Arsenal. Say they do get Gyökeres at the end of the day. Like, do you not think are they not getting closer, or is that enough?
They are getting closer. I'm just not sure. I'm not sure it's enough. Gyökeres, brilliant player, played against him a load of times, and real handful, and he's gone on and been unbelievable. And I do think it's exactly the type of profile striker that Arsenal need, but whether he'll make that much difference, I don't know.
No, such fine margins in the Champions League, and I mean, those games are of such high quality once you get to like the quarterfinals, and it can just change in a split second. And one moment can completely change the destiny of a game, and that's what makes it so fascinating to watch.
Okay, next question: will the three promoted sides, Leeds, Burnley, and Sunderland, buck the trend and stay up?
No. Lock it in. No. I do have a soft spot for Sunderland after knocking them out in the playoffs a couple of years ago, but I cannot see them staying up. It's a brutal league, especially when you go up through the playoffs. So Leeds, I like the look of Leeds. I think Ellen Road will be a really tough place to go and get points for anyone. So yeah, potentially Leeds. I like the defensive record Burnley had, but then going into the Premier League, that's a completely different kettle of fish again. It's you literally cannot compare the leagues.
What's the mindset like for you? You've done that, Tom. You've obviously got promoted into the Premier League, so obviously euphoria, excitement, everyone's delighted with it to start with, but then when you actually come back for pre-season, start to knuckle down, how different is the approach got to be, and what makes it so different?
I think the mentality is probably the biggest one, because you go from winning most weeks and being on high on confidence and on a roll, and all that team spirit. It's easy when you're winning, isn't it? Team spirit, and you almost have to change your mentality that you're not going to win every week, and you almost have to get used to losing. And for a team that's used to winning, is really hard to do.
Difficult that.
Yeah.
We went to Brighton on the first game of the season, and we lost 4-1, and we were like, we were there, but it was moments. It was literally moments. And we just felt that, like, in them moments, that they can just flip it on, and we just couldn't deal with it. And as soon as they wanted to turn it up a level, we couldn't respond.
Very quickly, though, Locks, will Birmingham secure back-to-back promotions?
Ooh. Yes.
Whoa.
Yes. Lock it in, yes. Yeah.
Tell Gabby Agbonlahor.
I was going to say, big news that in the Midlands.
And one for you here. Will your former boss, Rob Edwards, get Middlesbrough promoted?
Oh,
that would be nice.
Yeah, that would be really nice. The heart has to say yes.
He just seems like the nicest man.
Oh, he's amazing.
Did you guys see the trend of Rob Edwards? He'd done an interview when he was at Luton that time, and it went viral in America on a housewives group, and it was like, I hope Luton win the World Cup.
Yeah.
Really?
Rob Edwards. I started the trend. Tom Lockyer, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank
It's been
you,
good
Tom.
to see you. Glad
Best
you're
of
healthy.
luck, pal.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Come back and see us again very, very soon. Tom Lockyer with us today here on Drive on talkSPORT.
The transfer saga of the summer appears to be centred around Hugo Ekitike. What's the latest? Well, talkSPORT understands Liverpool have tabled a verbal offer of around £70 million. Personal terms are said to have been agreed already. Meanwhile, Villa are considering a double swoop for Premier League outcasts. Alejandro Garnacho is one of the names mooted at Villa Park, as is Chelsea's Nicholas Jackson. Here's talkSPORT's Alex Crook.
He's gone from first choice to third choice at Chelsea in terms of the striking department in the blink of an eye. And there is a relationship there. He played under Unai Emery in Spain. I think I mentioned to you a couple of days ago that there was the possibility of a link-up between those two. And I think Chelsea are open to offers for Nicholas Jackson.
So now we know how Andy Farrell's team will look for the opening Lions test. It's now all a question of how do they perform. talkSPORT's Lions pundit Ben Kay reckons the team's suboptimal performances against the Brumbies and Waratahs may actually help them on Saturday.
Sometimes you need that pressure and fear of losing to bring the best out of you. So I think he'll be happy with where they are going into this weekend. And I certainly, looking at the Wallabies side, would make the Lions favourites.
The first test is on Saturday morning. It's live on talkSPORT. Meanwhile, Arsenal women have confirmed they've signed the world's first £1 million player. 20-year-old Olivia Smith joins from Liverpool. Last year, Chelsea made Naomi Girma the first $1 million player. For all the latest transfer news, head to our live blog at talksport.com. Ahead of the undisputed world heavyweight title fight between Daniel Dubois and Alexander Usyk on Saturday, former 2-weight world champion Carl Frampton has told talkSPORT Dubois' best chance of winning will be in the first half of the fight.
I think he needs to start fast as well, and he definitely has a chance. Look, he's fighting an all-time great, in my opinion, and Alexander Usyk, who is the favourite, but Daniel's a better fighter than the one we seen when they fought the first time in Poland.
talkSPORT will bring you live commentary of the fight this Saturday, with the build-up beginning from 6 p.m. And don't forget to tune into talkSPORT 2 for live commentary of the Open throughout the day.
Hiya, how you doing today? You're listening to Drive here on talkSPORT. It's Shebahn Aherne and Andy Townsend.
Pothole is one of life's big problems in this day and age, isn't it? They are a problem, aren't they?
It's such a problem.
They are a big... do you know what? In 1 year, I must have done 6 tyres.
Have you actually done your tyres, haven't you?
Oh, done them like good and proper. As soon as you go through a pothole, literally in seconds, you feel the tyre gone, and you're thinking, "Oh no, because you got to pull over." Obviously, in fact, I didn't. I limped the last 2.5 miles to my house with the wheel going badoink, 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 you know, like banging up and down. But all night.
See, when you're in a cab coming into London for early morning, usually I'm working at early breakfast. It's like you're in the back of the Pepsi Max. You're flying about all over the taxi.
Yeah.
These bottles! Exactly. Coming up for you on the show today, we're going to be joined by American heavyweight Michael Hunter to look ahead to Usyk versus Dubois live on talkSPORT this weekend. I wonder if he'll be your size, Andy. Might be a little bit smaller.
Who's this? Michael Hunter,
yeah.
No, he'd be a bit bigger than me, wouldn't he?
I was joking, Pat.
Yeah. I think he might be a bit bigger than me.
Smidge taller than you.
Correct.
Time now to get the latest from Switzerland with our friends at McDonald's.
UEFA Women's Euro 2025 update on talkSPORT with McDonald's. The new and iconic Big Arch has landed at McDonald's, featuring an unbeatable lineup of juicy beef, cheddar cheese, and its very own signature sauce. Available from 11 a.m. at participating restaurants.
England's fearless Lionesses are going to Wembley after thrashing Sweden, the number 2 ranked, by 4 goals to 0.
When you come up against a team when you had a previous fixture like that, then you're always probably going to remember it. But I think so much has happened since, and 2 very different teams now.
James on the edge of the area onto the left foot. Oh yes! That's a majestic goal from England's Lauren James.
Stina is an incredibly powerful footballer.
Plays it through the middle towards Blackstenius. Goalkeeper caught in 2 minds. Blackstenius is in!
A hard player to play against in that respect.
Maybe the tough group stage will stand England in good stead going forward.
2 left-footed shots. It's 4!
We had to learn to be our proper England again straight away after that France game, and I think ready to bring that to the rest of the tournament.
Another shot at history for the Lionesses, and every kick right here on talkSPORT.
I can't wait for this one tonight. Very much so looking forward to it. Live for you on talkSPORT, 8 o'clock kickoff. Sweden take on the Lionesses in the quarterfinal. Would you rather IKEA meatballs or
IKEA meatballs. Yes. I thought they were furniture they did in there.
And meatballs.
Really?
I actually think
they got a cafeteria,
the meatballs
a restaurant in there.
Might be more important than the furniture in IKEA.
Wow. I mean, I've got to be honest with you, Shebahn. I'm not a massive meatball lover.
Right, meatballs are sausages.
Oh, sausages every day of the week.
Okay.
Every day of the week.
You need to go to IKEA and get some meatballs, Andy.
Wow.
You will thank me.
Yeah, really, that good?
That good. If Sweden women can be as good as their meatballs, they've got a real good chance to. Exactly that, yep. Match day for England. The Lionesses have won their last 2 games, having lost the opener in the group game against France. Their boss, Sarina Wiegman, spoke to talkSPORT yesterday ahead of the game, and she said that she's wary of the threat that Sweden carry.
Well, I think they're really together. It's a powerful team. They always have a very clear tactical plan, and they execute that always very good. And they have some threats up front, of course, and with the counter-attack, but also when they want to go in behind. And they have some height too in the team.
Imagine Sarina Wiegman went, and they have some good meatballs.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
So come on, tell me about the Sweden centre forward.
Stina Blackstenius.
Right.
Arsenal.
Yeah, how
striker.
Good?
Very good.
So the Lionesses know plenty about her.
Oh, Leah Williamson, Beth Mead, Chloe Kelly, Alessia Russo.
What sort of striker is she?
Big handful, works her absolute backside off. An honest player, can be offside a lot of the time. Some might say born offside.
So constantly sort of
always
looking for the ball in behind.
Yes, exactly. And she runs her tail off as well. In fact, somebody who can tell us more about her is our reporter out at Switzerland just now, Courtney Sweetman-Kirk. Was that a fair analysis, Courtney, of Stina Blackstenius?
Yeah, it is. You've done my job for me, so it's time for me to go home, yeah?
Stay with us. Have you had any meatballs?
No, it is a... Yeah, I'll go and get some meatballs and then I'll be sound. But no, I think it's a very fair assessment. The way that she runs in behind, she's a handful in terms of, in 2 ways actually, because she's obviously her stature's big, which is, in terms of set pieces, we mentioned that for Sweden. But she is a nuisance in terms of the way that she will run teams down out of possession as well. She makes it really difficult, but she's that constant threat as well in behind. And Sweden have massively played to her strengths to that on the counter attack. But it's not just Blackstenius, is it? Johanna Rytting-Kaneryd, 2 player of the match performances so far in the group, and she's got bags of pace. You've got Natalie Bjorn for me, who's had a fantastic season at Chelsea. Aslani, that we know, a wonderful footballer and still so gifted. Yes, she's at the back end of her career, let's say, but she's that type of player that's got so much quality. If she loses a bit of pace or physicality, it doesn't really matter, because almost like a Pirlo back in the day, she's always got that half a yard because she's so intelligent. So this is going to be a real tough one tonight.
Yeah. Courtney, tell us tactically from England's point of view, because of Blackstenius, because of that threat. So do you see them dropping that little bit deeper, or do you think they'll just worry about their own game, squeeze, get up to that halfway line and start pressing the Swedes in their own half? What do you think?
I think they will stick to their game plan. I think that's been the constant reminder throughout the tournament. After the France game, it was we didn't execute our game plan well enough. That was very, very clear from Sarina Wiegman and the players. And then, going forward, it's been about them. I think that could be quite dangerous, because if we don't execute our game plan well enough, that very much leaves us open at the back. So I think there's got to be that, that mixture between us. But I think especially in the France game, where we had 2 fullbacks really going forward and getting exploited, I think when you play Alex on the left-hand side, Alex Greenwood, I think she naturally wants to stay back because she's a centre-back anyway. So even if Lucy Bronze does go on that right-hand side, you can almost bring everyone round into sort of a back 3, as it were, in possession. So I think already that little change in that tactical tweak maybe nullifies the threats that Sweden have.
Courtney, you were talking about Aslani there, who plays for the London City Lionesses, who've just been now promoted to the WSL. She did a press conference yesterday and spoke about how underestimated and how underrated Sweden have been coming into this tournament. I did it myself, Courtney, until they beat Germany. Why did we not consider Sweden as favourites for this competition? They're just behind England in the world rankings. It's weird they've flown under the radar. They've not been beaten in over a year.
Yeah, and I think maybe we look at it a little bit more historically and thinking they've never really gone all the way. They've never gone and won it. To my recollection, I could be wrong, but I don't think they've made a final. It's normally semi-finals. So I think maybe that's the reason why, Spain and England have been the favourites in that sense. But, going back to that, they still always progress through the latter stage of tournament. They're always there and abouts. And I think, they've had a fantastic qualifying, as you say. They've not lost in a very long time. I think there was 2 Nations Leagues with England as well that they've drawn. So look, they're a team that are banging form. So we're going to have to be at full tilt tonight, the Lionesses, to beat them. There's no doubt about that.
How's Lauren James, by the way? Have you seen her in camp? Because she's just got everyone again. I mean, back here in this country, everybody, as we do, talk about Lauren James as if like she's just burst onto the scene. This is what she does, and she's just unbelievably good, isn't she?
Oh, she's such an unbelievably gifted footballer. For me, she's got to be a future Ballon d'Or winner. The way that she strikes the ball, her technical ability with both feet, she really is on a different level, and she always gives England something, I always say, a bit different that no one else has got in that team. That little bit of magic. She's a little bit of a maverick in that sense, because she's got something very, very special, and it's almost, you just let Lauren James do what Lauren James does, whether it be out on the right or the left, and the way she likes to drift in to central spaces and take the shot on. I think, she's been in good spirit, and I think for years gone by as well, she's maybe been a bit nervous of the press, but I think more so we've seen a little bit more of her personality. I remember after the game where she got the sort of shyness, she was laughing, saying this is why I don't go up for headers. So I think obviously as she goes on and sort of more comfortable in the spotlight, we're seeing a little bit more from her personality too.
What's your prediction tonight, Courtney?
Sweden! It's going to be a real tough one. I think it's going to go to extra time. I will say that. There'll be a goal in it. Obviously, my heart goes for the Lionesses. It'll be really close. I think maybe 2-1 to Lionesses in extra time.
Wow.
Good stuff. OK, Courtney Sweetman-Kirk,
nice
thank you
Courtney.
very much for being with us. Good luck tonight. I hope it's the result that you're looking for. Hopefully you'll be back on with us tomorrow on talkSPORT with very, very good news about the Lionesses. Do you know what, Andy? I think they're going to be fine tonight.
You think so? Yeah.
Sweden are a very good side, but I just think the Lionesses are kind of on one since that first game against France.
Since that wobble in the first game, they've improved with each game. Now, obviously, the pressure ramps up, and you're getting into that. Also, you're just getting into that point of the tournament where I'm sure the Lionesses will start to fancy their chances of maybe going the distance.
I could see 3-1. 4-1 tonight for the Lionesses, but don't at me if I'm wrong. That was a look ahead, all thanks to McDonald's.
UEFA Women's Euro 2025 update on talkSPORT with McDonald's. The new and iconic Big Arch has landed at McDonald's, featuring an unbeatable lineup of juicy beef, cheddar cheese, and its very own signature sauce. Available from 11 a.m. at participating restaurants.
You're listening to Drive here on talkSPORT. Shebahn and Andy with you. Coming up next, we'll be asking the question, is Brian and Burmo worth £70 million?
2 years ago, the controversy surrounded, was it a low blow, wasn't it a low blow?
I'm sure we'll see it again, but the crowd are booing as soon as it landed. You can see the pain on Usyk.
This is what I want, and now we're getting it on the big show, and we're going to put it right.
Gets Dubois going, and now Dubois coming back.
Succession.
Which was great, wasn't it? How good was Succession?
Succession was the best.
Brilliant. That was so good.
So who's the Brian Cox, the main actor?
Yeah.
So you know Jeff Stelling, when Jeff had his very first day at talkSPORT?
Right.
So I want to say it was like January a couple of years ago, wasn't it? And Jeff finished his first ever show at talkSPORT 10 o'clock in the morning from the breakfast show, and he came out of the studio and we were having like a welcome to talkSPORT, Jeff Stelling, and Brian Cox walked through.
Did he really?
And I was like, I don't really know who I get more excited about, Jeff Stelling or Brian Cox. Here we are. You're listening to Drive on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and Andy Townsend with Motorpoint. Thousands of cars, all at unbeatable prices, guaranteed. Head to motorpoint.co.uk for more details. Still to come, we're going to be joined in the studio by American heavyweight boxer Michael Hunter. Just quickly, by the way, Chelsea are interested in signing PSG. In Italy, goalkeeper Gianluigi Donnarumma.
Yeah.
Gianluigi.
He's a giant, Gianluigi. Yeah. He's a giant man. Made had an incredible Champions League tournament last campaign. Pulled off some incredible saves. I witnessed a good few of them in the flesh. They were very, very, very good. And obviously Chelsea have still got that, despite how well the goalkeeper played, Robert Sanchez, in the Club World Cup. He played very, very well. Look, you can't let your heart sort of rule your head in a scenario like that. You've seen what you've seen. You know what you know about the guy, and if you think you want to change just because they have a particularly good tournament, you still got to go with it. You've still got to see it through. So no surprises. I think that Chelsea are looking for a keeper. They've tried Mike Maignan from Milan, of course, and not had any joy there. So we'll see with that one. But I'd be surprised if Donnarumma, if Chelsea got him out there.
Okay, we'll ask Crookie about it very, very soon because he's going to be with us in just a moment. Also, getting an update now from the Open Championship at Royal Port Rush. Watching for talkSPORT, Sean O'Brien. What's the latest, please?
Yes, the first tee shot was hit nearly 11 hours ago, but nobody has left Royal Port Rush, and that's because Northern Ireland's Rory McIlroy is on the golf course. He made a rocky start, but he's 1 under par, and now is the time to make your birdies. It's warm, it's dry, it's fairly calm out there, but it never stays that way for long here on the breathtaking Causeway Coast, and there are warnings of some thunderstorms. A lot of guys are making hay while the sun shines. England's Till Hatton has made a fast start. He's within 1 shot of the lead on 3 under par. Mav McNeely, Lucas Glover and Harris English have all moved to within 1 as well, so plenty of birdies out there right now. Just to remind you of the guys in the clubhouse, Matt Fitzpatrick has a share of the lead alongside Jakob Skov Olesen and Haotong Lee. England's Matthew Jordan is 1 shot back alongside world number 1 Scotty Scheffler, and Lee Westwood is within 2. It's not just Rory in this afternoon wave. Justin Rose and Bob McIntyre have made a bright start. Bryson DeChambeau and Tommy Fleetwood are struggling, so lots of golf left to consume on day 1, and you can listen to it all over on talkSPORT 2.
Stuff. Thank you very much, Sean O'Brien there with the latest from Royal Port Rush.
Just see Rory there, just saw him take a shot there, Shebahn, on our monitors. It looked like he had a wedge in his hand, something like that.
And he literally
nearly put it in the hole. It's so close, gone about 3 or 4 foot past, so if he knocks that one in, you would imagine that's a birdie.
I'd love to see Rory do well.
Oh yeah,
you would absolutely love to see it. And that's the thing, watching it now, the weather looks ridiculous. It's blowing a gale, it's links golf, so you think the winner, if they can get the better of the elements as well, maybe
again you get a bit of luck sometimes with the weather at the Open, but Rory looks like he's up to full speed now. Had a little bit of a tricky start, didn't he? But he looks like he's motoring now.
Yeah, speaking of golf, by the way, talkSPORT's chief football correspondent, and what are you playing off now, Alex Crook? Is that what? Go on then, tell us what you're playing off of.
It's still 28.
I'm better than you. I've not held a club in about 3 years.
It gets you a lot of points. I'm just looking at the leaderboard.
I was just about to say, Crookie, that's a dangerous handicap when someone says they're a 28. I've got friends that say they're a 28, and they're always playing well and scoring plenty of points.
Crookie's he's the guy who's there for the bants. He's there every tee off. He's there for the bants. Talk to us then, Alex, because Man United have made an improved bid to sign Brian Mbeumo. Is it Mbeumo or Mbeumo? What are we saying here? Because I'm hearing different takes.
Mbeumo is how I've always been taught to say it, yeah. But this has been one of the sagas of the summer, hasn't it? I think it's over 40 days ago that we first reported Manchester United were stepping up their pursuit of Brentford's main goal scorer from last season. I was told 3 weeks ago by sources at Brentford that a medical was expected to take place. The two clubs were expected to come to an agreement. Here we are 3 weeks later, and that still hasn't happened. But there does seem to be positivity now on all sides. This deal will finally be agreed. £65 million guaranteed is Manchester United's third and probably final offer. There are some add-ons in the deal as well that would take it to £70 million. But I'm told those add-ons are not easily attainable. They're dependent on team success as opposed to personal achievement. Qualifying for the Champions League, I think, would net Brentford an extra few quid. And from Mbeumo's part, he's made it clear all the way along, despite interest from Newcastle and some tentative talk about Tottenham as well, that Manchester United are the club for him. I have got a little conspiracy theory. Yeah. Now, hear me out here. It's July the 17th, and Mbeumo only returned to training with Brentford a few days ago after being given an extended summer break, if you like. So what Manchester United have done here by only making this third bid now is save themselves a couple of weeks' wages. If they'd signed him so that he came in on July the 1st, for example, they would have effectively been paying him decent money, in excess of £200,000 a week, I'm told, to not train for 2 weeks. So maybe there is a little bit of sensible negotiating that's gone on for Manchester United.
What about 70 million quid, Crookie? Value, or do you think that's a little bit too much? Where are you on that?
I think it's at the top end of what Manchester United wanted to pay, but Brentford saw what Matheus Cunha went for. They pointed out during negotiations that Mbeumo is younger than Cunha. He scored more goals in the Premier League last season than Cunha did for Wolves. So I think they wanted at least 62.5 million. As I say, the 65 goes slightly above that. You've seen Anthony Elanga go from Forest to Newcastle for a deal that could rise to 60 million. So that seems the going rate, doesn't it? And I think it's interesting, if you look at what Manchester United are doing so far this summer, with the two big signings they've made, Cunha and hopefully Mbeumo from a United perspective, they're targeting players proven in the Premier League. Now, if you look at their transfer business over the past few windows, that hasn't always been the case. They've taken a gamble on players like Rasmus Højlund, paid £72 million for him, unproven in the Premier League. Joshua Zirkzee, obviously a lot less than that last summer. But I think Ruben Amorim really wants players who are up to speed with what it takes to play in the Premier League and can hit the ground running, and they feel that Mbeumo will do that.
Interesting. On the subject then of Man United, can we speak about the players that might be going the other way then? Garnacho, Rashford, Sancho, Anthony. Garnacho linked to Aston Villa. Are we any further forward with that?
No, I think Villa are one of a number of clubs who are monitoring the situation. I wouldn't rule out Chelsea either, who obviously made inquiries about Garnacho in January, and I think he's still on their list. They can get players like Christopher Nkunku and maybe Nicholas Jackson off the payroll. I think Garnacho's preference is to stay in Europe and probably to stay in the Premier League. There is interest from Saudi Arabia, but it doesn't seem he's keen to make that move at this moment in time. And again, he is proven in the Premier League. I'd bracket him in the same category as Marcus Rashford, really, because what Manchester United's history and their DNA is built on is academy players coming into the first team and prospering. And the fact you've got two such players who are persona non grata, they've fallen out with the manager. I think they've alienated a lot of the fan base as well. I think that's quite a sad reflection on where they're at this moment in time.
Yeah, no, I think I agree, Crookie. I mean, it's and I think you do get there has to be a line in the sand where you just go, right, that's it, get them gone, get them out the door. For and you can chop and change your minds every 5 minutes. You can watch a player 1 minute, not fancy him, and then change your mind all of a sudden. But I think with Marcus Rashford and Garnacho, I think there's plenty that's happened there with those boys, and I think the manager's absolutely decided, look, I'd rather they get gone, so go and find yourselves a club, sell them as quick as they can. Yeah. But not easy to do, as we're seeing. Not
exactly
easy.
Exactly that. Yohan Wissa, Crookie, the latest name today to be linked with Newcastle.
Yeah, it's been a frustrating summer for Newcastle so far in many ways. Obviously, they've got the Elanga deal over the line, which I think is tremendous. Yeah. If they can keep Alexander Isak, I think that would be a big win in this window, because we know there's strong interest from Liverpool. But they've tried for a lot of players who've decided to go elsewhere. People like Dean Howson, I think, was always going to go to Real Madrid. João Pedro, I think, always had his sights set on Chelsea, even though Newcastle showed interest. And Mbeumo himself, as I mentioned at the top of this section, he always wanted Manchester United, so it's certainly not for the want of trying. Eddie Howe and Andy Howe, who's now heading a lot of the recruitment because there isn't a sporting director, they are trying to get deals done. Ugo Ekitike looks like he is Liverpool bound. That was a player that Newcastle have been trying this week to sign, but they obviously do still want a forward. They want a backup option and someone even to play alongside Alexander Isak. And again, Yoane Wissa would seem to make a lot of sense. He too scored a lot of goals for Brentford in the Premier League last season, but they're not alone in their interest. Newcastle, Spurs and Thomas Frank would be keen. Nottingham Forest have had a bid rejected already this summer, but they're trying, Newcastle. I would just tell their fans to stay patient. And actually, I think if you speak to a lot of Newcastle fans, when this Ekitike-Isak saga sort of developed, if they had a choice, sign Ekitike, but you lose Alexander Isak to Liverpool, I think they would have opted to keep Isak.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Alex Crook, as ever, thank you so much for being with us today. Our chief football correspondent out on the golf tee, playing off 20 very, very soon. From all the latest from the Open, by the way, you can head over to talkSPORT 2. Time now for No Googling. So because I'm alongside Mr. Andy Townsend, we want to know which teammate did he play the most games with throughout his career?
Wow, that's a good question, because I haven't got a clue.
You wouldn't even have... Off the top of your head?
I wouldn't have a clue.
Most games?
Most games I played with. So. That's a very, very good question. Probably would it be a keeper? I don't know. I haven't got a clue, Shebahn. I'm eager to find out.
Okay, stay with us. You will find out the answer next on Drive.
The transfer saga of the summer appears to be centred around Hugo Ekitike. What's the latest? Well, talkSPORT understands Liverpool have tabled a verbal offer of around £70 million. Personal terms are said to have been agreed already. Meanwhile, Villa are considering a double swoop for Premier League outcasts. Alejandro Garnacho is one of the names mooted at Villa Park, as is Chelsea's Nicholas Jackson. Here's talkSPORT's Alex Crook.
He's gone from first choice to third choice at Chelsea in terms of the striking department in the blink of an eye. And there is a relationship there. He played under Unai Emery in Spain.
So now we know how Andy Farrell's team will look for the opening Lions test. It's now all a question of how do they perform. talkSPORT's Lions pundit Ben Kay reckons the team's suboptimal performances against the Brumbies and Waratahs may actually help them on Saturday.
Sometimes you need that pressure and fear of losing to bring the best out of you. So they'll be happy with where they are going into this weekend. And I certainly, looking at the Wallabies side, would make the Lions favourites.
Ahead of the undisputed world heavyweight title fight between Daniel Dubois and Alexander Usyk on Saturday, former 2-weight world champion Carl Frampton has told talkSPORT Dubois' best chance of winning will be in the first half of the fight.
He needs to start fast. He definitely has a chance. Daniel's a better fighter than the one we seen when they fought the first time.
talkSPORT will bring you live commentary of the fight this Saturday, with the build-up beginning from 6 p.m. To Drive here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and Andy Townsend in for Andy Goldstein and Darren Bent. By the way, if you listen to Andy Goldstein's new podcast yet with Jason Cundy, I
haven't listened yet.
21 minutes to go.
Yes, good.
Good laugh, to be
good
fair.
Laugh.
It's Jason Cundy just unfiltered, like you didn't need him any more unfiltered. Listen to 21 minutes to go.
I've seen the unfiltered version of that boy. Don't forget, as a young whippersnapper when I was at Chelsea with him.
You did. You've been seen it all. Exactly. Before we got to the break, we asked Andy Townsend which teammate he played the most games with throughout his career.
Right.
You thought about it yet?
I thought it might be Paul McGrath with it. I'm thinking Ireland and Villa. I'm probably wrong.
Very good guess. And I hate to take it away from you. You are wrong. 173 games together. Steve Staunton.
With Stanley. Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So there you go. That would make sense. But Stan, great player, Steve. Really, really good player too.
Lovely stuff. Still to come for you. We're going to be asking what Aston Villa's ambitions should be going into the new season. But now a reminder, this Saturday, talkSPORT brings you live commentary of the undisputed world heavyweight title fight between Alexander Usyk and Daniel Dubois from Wembley Stadium. British heavyweight Dave Allen is part of our expert boxing team building up to the fight. He's going to be with us all the way through to the final bell. But we can look ahead to the fight now, all thanks to DAZN.
Big fight preview on talkSPORT with DAZN. Watch Usyk versus Dubois on the 19th of July. Live only on DAZN. Buy now at dazn.com/boxing.
Fury's wobbling. Usyk's caught it. Dubois landed a peach of a right hand.
This is boxing. I prepare for this fight.
First time ever 4 belts have been on the line in this country.
Just be a savage, bring chaos.
Usyk charging in for a finish. Fury doesn't know where he is. Dynamite Daniel Dubois has detonated. That shot was not low. That was borderline.
You conned the referee. You conned us. You conned the boxing world.
I'm not cheater. I think it's just games.
6, 7. He looked at the corner.
I'm going to get under this game with these bombs I'm going to be throwing.
8, 9.
I like play, but it's my rules.
Stay down there, Daniel Dubois. He gets up on 9.5. Usyk sinks down to the canvas.
Let it flow until I have to get in the ring and put chaos on this guy.
The
excellent sport does not stop here on talkSPORT. Yes, this Saturday, live from Wembley Arena, Alexander Usyk against Daniel Dubois. American heavyweight fighter Michael Hunter joins us now in the studio with his manager and advisor Dan Raja. Guys, good to have you with us. How you doing?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Great to see you guys.
It's good to have you here. You've just come in from Vegas yesterday, Michael, and that's where you're born and bred. See, we just see Vegas as like a quick party town and then head up the road.
Yeah, no, there's definitely some houses there. I've been there for a long time, and it was the boxing capital for one time.
Yeah.
And now, it's moved over here. So
now, what goes on in Vegas? Does it stay in Vegas, Michael? That's what we really want to know.
So, like life in Vegas growing up, I know we will talk about the fight in a second, but is it like a regular life in Vegas?
Yeah, the only thing is you have a little bit more access sooner to a lot of things, especially if you're, probably a female and stuff. There's a lot of different things you can get into and get involved in. So it's definitely not the coolest place to maybe raise a family, but it does have some good qualities there. You know what I'm saying?
And your dad was a fighter as well, so you were instantly into the boxing scene.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I used to sit there and watch him and my dad and Mike Tyson fight, and sparring and stuff like that. And
wow.
Yeah, so that was kind of his claim to fame back then. So
yeah, well, we've got so much to look forward to over the weekend. Now look, you are one of the few guys that have stepped into the ring with Alexander Usyk back in 2017. Obviously, a lot has passed since then, Michael. But just tell us what it's like standing opposite that guy.
Oh man, it's been a while. You never really forget. The experience. I just remember. He was very resilient in his eyes. He's very. He has the will to win. And when you have the will to win, that comes with humility. You if you're hurt, then you're hurt. There's certain things that you kind of take with you when you don't have a giant ego like that. So I think that's one of his best qualities.
Lovely, yeah.
He's meant to be the most kind of level-headed, grounded guy at the same time, and also being an absolute worldwide superstar.
Yes.
How you get the balance of that?
Man, I guess it's a lot of training and, just going through a lot of his experiences, ups and downs and stuff like that. And, he's been managed, he's had a great team and he's managed well to do well for himself.
Talk to us about Daniel Dubois from his side of things. What will he have to do differently this time against Usyk if he's to get a win?
I think that he has to kind of get him off a rhythm, go at him almost like a Chisora when Chisora fought Usyk, that he didn't give him a rhythm. He just attacked him. They didn't have any time to figure anything out, and it was just a fight. And that's what made the fight closer. Usyk is a fleet-footed boxer, a pure boxer, so that means he has to do with rhythm, and I think if he doesn't have a rhythm, then it's going to be harder for him to get his stuff off. So I think that Daniel should start very aggressively and end very aggressively.
And do you genuinely think, Michael, Daniel has the tools to win this fight?
Yes, I think I watched the fight a little bit yesterday, and one thing that I did not like that hopefully that changes, that I feel like Usyk got a lot of
decisions, from the referee, big calls.
Yeah, and he was able to look at the referee and then the ref give him a call and stuff like that. I seen there was a lot of favoritism when he fought him the first time. And it's kind of like I use the Michael Jordan effect, Michael Jordan calls it a foul, then so does the ref, So and that's what literally happened in that fight, and that is it's a very tangible thing in a fight, because the only other person that's in there is him. So that's constant stress. I seen another thing there that he was able to. He put Daniel Dubois right in the corner, and he allowed Usyk to stand in the middle of the ring. Those are very, very important factors when you're in that square ring. So hopefully that could change a little bit, and you'll see some even.
It's going to be an iconic venue again for this fight at the weekend. Wembley Stadium. You talk about the Vegas nights, but
yes.
Wembley Stadium. There's a lot of pressure on both fighters here to really perform. Who do you think's under more of it?
I think Usyk, in a sense. I think this is going to motivate. It's not like Daniel hasn't been fought on big stages before. I think that he has everybody pulling for him on this side, and the fight is over here, so it kind of sways in his favor. I know it's still a nervous thing to have 100,000 fans cheering and stuff like that. That's a nerve-wracking in itself, but the fact that everybody's really pulling for him, I think that is a good thing for him and do good for herself.
And what's the situation with yourself then, Michael? I mean, the last fight that you were in was in December. You've been linked to other fights with Fabio Wardley and Pulev. What's next for you?
I need a challenge. I haven't been challenged in a while. I mean, I've been active, but I haven't been on the big scenes because of nobody wants to really step in there and challenge me. So that's what I came here to do, and I'm supposed to be fighting Kubrat Pulev for the WBA regular belt world title, and then shortly after, me and Fabio Wardley, hopefully I'll go to Ipswich and we'll take care of that. So that'll be really fun.
Yeah, they sound exciting fights as well, don't they?
Who do you want? Is there somebody on your target list who you want to get?
I like Fabio. I like the Fabio Wardley fight. I think if I come here and we give the fans what they want, and I see he's a very athletic guy. He's young. He's hungry and he's learning. So I think that me and him, that's a good fight to clash.
And he beat Justice Hooney in the last fight.
Yes, he did.
What did you make of that performance?
I thought he threw the most beautiful right hand to knock him out. If you watched it, it was very picture perfect. Just the way his angle and all that. He was a little frustrated in there, and that just happens in boxing. You're not always gonna be at your best every time. So. That was an experience that he able to take away, and he got the victory. So he's definitely going to learn from it.
And what about the heavyweight division overall at the moment, Michael? How strong do you see that?
Oh man, can't you tell it's the biggest thing right now? They have all the major fights. Yeah, all the major fights. It's back. And that's why I said I want my chance. I want to fight. I would love to fight the winner. I have a little bit of experience with Usyk, but Daniel could easily win this fight, and it would be an honor to step in the ring with him as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, good. I mean, in terms then of going forward, can I ask you about the whole YouTube boxing situation? I mean, we were speaking to Eddie Hearn yesterday here on Drive, and he spoke about AJ and Jake Paul. Apparently AJ might not have a big issue with that. Is that something you would like to see, someone shut up Jake Paul once and for all?
I know that would. I don't know how I would feel about that. I think that having the YouTubers come into the sport is good because we're getting more views, we're getting more fans into the sport. So anytime there's something new, there's always a little give and take, but. We just have to get accustomed. The thing that I like is they're not doing anything different than that. They're taking the same model that boxing has done. They just taking it to an extreme.
Yeah. Have you had any offers for a YouTube fight?
No.
Not. You don't want to go down that road yet.
No. I'm gonna stay.
Good for you, because they drive me mad. I'll be absolutely honest with you, Michael. No, I do. I don't think it's right that all of a sudden guys can just. Yeah. Call themselves a boxer overnight and start fighting people. I admire the business side of it. Listen, he's clearly, Jake Paul and his entourage and his company are clearly smart, no doubt about that. But I don't like the fact that people can just walk in and get fights with big fighters when there's guys like you who are waiting to get a fight and waiting for an opportunity. And you've earned your spurs. You've been in there with the gloves on on proper occasions.
Yes. I do agree with that. It's definitely, like I said, it's a give or take. But like I said, it brings more eyes. And as long as if those guys like myself can get those shots, then it'll probably turn out well for us.
Well, let's hope we see you fighting at Ipswich very, very soon. That would be brilliant to see. Dan?
Yeah, absolutely. The only thing I want to echo with Michael Hunter is that I honestly see him as an undefeated fighter. The only loss on his record is Alexander Usyk, who's beaten AJ twice and beaten Fury twice at cruiserweight and also Dubois once. Outside of that, Michael Hunter's really an undefeated fighter. And also with Martin Bakole. Martin Bakole was the boogeyman of the sport for such a long period of time. Yeah. But his one defeat on his record was never spoken about, which was Michael Hunter. So it's very clear that Hunter's been avoided in the sport, but we're out here now to you know.
Absolutely.
Well, we're glad you're here. Glad you're here with us on Drive and talkSPORT. Hopefully next time it'll be ahead of that fight that you're looking for.
Yes,
Michael Hunter, Dan Raja, thank you so much for coming on Drive. And thanks for being with us here in the studio. That was a look ahead to Usyk versus Dubois with DAZN. Don't forget, miss the heavyweight rematch between Usyk and Dubois for all the belts in undisputed glory. Do not miss it this Saturday, 19th of July, live on DAZN. You can buy now at dazn.com/boxing.
Big fight preview on talkSPORT with DAZN. Watch Usyk versus Dubois on the 19th of July, live only on DAZN. Buy now at dazn.com/boxing.
And the best of talkSPORT is coming up next on Drive.
Nearly 2 years ago, the controversy surrounded, was it a low blow, wasn't it a low blow?
I'm sure we'll see it again, but the crowd are booing as soon as it landed. You can see the pain on Usyk.
This is what I want, and now we're getting it. It's a big show, and we're going to put it right.
Gets Dubois going, and now Dubois coming back.
People, how you doing today? You're listening to Drive on talkSPORT. It's Shebahn Aherne and Andy Townsend here with Motorpoint. New car with same-day drive away available on all cars, and you can book a test drive today. Still to come for you. We're going to be asking what Aston Villa's ambitions should be going into the next season. Just quickly, by the way, Jude Bellingham, bad news for him, expected to miss at least the first 6 weeks of the new season after undergoing surgery for a long-standing shoulder issue. In other news, Sunderland are exploring a move to sign Bayer Leverkusen midfielder Granit Xhaka.
Wow.
That's
okay,
new.
tons of experience, which is obviously for Sunderland They missed out on Jordan Henderson. There was some talk maybe he might have gone there. Obviously, Jordan's ended up opting for Brentford. So they're looking for that experienced campaigner, a bit of a leader.
He turned it round as well, didn't he?
He did great, Shebahn, in the end.
People inside, yeah.
Because for a while he was sort of, he looked like he was going to be leaving Arsenal sort of out the back door, whereas in the end he was, he went with everybody's blessing. So it'd be interesting if he comes back, yeah.
Okay, over on talkSPORT 2 right now, you can hear live commentary of the 2025 Open Championship. To listen to that, simply download our talkSPORT app. You can swipe across our stations, talkSPORT and talkSPORT 2, and do not miss any of the coverage. We're going to go right now, talkSPORT 2's coverage of the Open.
Yes, the two great shots hit in here by both players.
Hello, welcome along. We're listening to talkSPORT 2's Open coverage at Royal Portrush. Let's head back to the course to catch some evening action.
Left. It's a little bit of a false front, so it's very, very difficult even to get your ball positioned where they're actually putting from. It's probably it's the easiest part of the green to hold the putt from. So I fancy a couple of birdies here. It's probably maybe right to left into the breeze a little bit for Hovland. He's just setting his ball down now, but good opportunities. But this threesome here need to get something going, David, and they're going into a very difficult stretch. They're going into 10, obviously 9, 11, so they need to really get some birdies very quickly.
Well, Raymond sets it up. He needs a birdie quickly. Victor Hovland stands over a birdie putt now on this 9th green. What a sight that is. The crowd behind waiting to cheer something here from Hovland as he sends the putt forward. Looks to have got the pace right, waits for it to drop, but just drops away. That's a big chance gone with a difficult run of holes to come. Jordan Spieth will go next, but our focus at the moment, because of the scoring, very much on Oberg and Hovland will be frustrated with that.
Dave, thank you very much. Was just looking at Harris English, who's just leaked one, I think, down the right-hand side of the fairway. We'll have an update on that in a second.
The Open taking place right now from Royal Portrush. If you want all of our coverage, ball-by-ball action, you can swipe across the app to talkSPORT 2 and get all of our coverage there. Andy, you got a cheeky wee bit on?
I have got, and actually, Shebahn, I'm not going to say anything more than my guys that I've backed at the moment are doing rather well.
See, you can't say that on day one.
I know.
By the way, Lee Westwood, if he does the bits, I don't want to jinx it.
No, but it'd be, what story that'd be?
I know.
At this stage of his sort of career, it'd be amazing.
When you've kind of think you've almost written him off.
Yeah.
And then there was a great interview with Lee Westwood in the paper yesterday, just like being in the situation that he's in and not regretting anything that's ever happened and being that kind of nearly guy in majors, but all of the Ryder Cups that he represented in 9, Ryder Cups, and you think, wow, he's had such an incredible career. To get it now would be
I think he had second, I'm pretty sure, Shebahn, he's had second a couple of times at the Open as well.
Yeah.
Been very, very close. He had a period, Lee, where he was... everybody, he always felt he had a chance going into a lot of the majors. He had that sort of little spell. Obviously, look, nowadays it's very different. He's older and his competitive game perhaps not as sharp as over course and distance anymore, but he's still a threat like he showed today.
And then that's the thing, if it's between the years, you're all calm and you're mentally sound in these big tournaments, then it might be the best thing for you. I know his wee boy Sam, when I say wee boy, he's twice the height of me. He did work experience with me years ago.
Is that right?
And I texted him saying, Sam, do you want to come on the show and talk about your old man? And he said, I don't want to jinx it.
No.
I don't blame you. Right, it's time now for this. Play it louder. This is the best of talkSPORT and Friends, where we run you through some of the recent highlight moments from across talkSPORT and our sister stations. There's always a few belter. Let's start with the weekend's fight night, where Adam Catterall was joined by Gareth A. Davies and the British light heavyweight Anthony Yard.
I believe he's still in New York, because I know that he was at a press conference this week. It is the beast from the East himself, the one and only Mr. Anthony Yard. Look at it. Hang on a minute. You can't do this, man. You can't get the guns out on the show, mate, and get everything shown off. You know what I mean? You're putting us all to shame here, son.
I've got to jump in here because we've got the guns out tonight, both myself and Anthony. Yeah,
there's no we about it, mate. There's only one man with guns here.
Well, all right. I've got a different kind of guns to Anthony. It's just very hot in New York. It's warm here. It's about time you took your T-shirt off, isn't it?
I can't live with that, mate.
Why don't you just get your T-shirt off now?
No chance, mate.
Come on.
What is actually happening?
Oh, listen, Gareth there sporting a waistcoat with nothing else, right, on his top half.
And Anthony Yard just shirtless.
Anthony Yard completely shirtless, but Gareth looking a bit like Richie Sambora out of Bon Jovi, you know what I mean? That sort of look, going for that sort of aging rock star look.
Just not quite sure where to look when that happens.
Very true.
Yard's not got a top on and the camera's looking upwards at him. He could be full buff for all we know.
Well, yes, very true, actually. Yeah.
And then I can't decide if Gareth's at the wind-up. Is he at the wind-up, or is that his genuine outfit?
Oh, no, he's always quite a cool-looking individual, Gareth, yeah. He likes to...
You say that's cool?
Yeah, well, you know, it's different, isn't it? Different.
It's different. I'd like to see you do that next time I see you, Andy Townsend. Just the waistcoat.
No.
Okay, crack on, please, sir.
Right, where am I, Shebahn?
Andy, on to the breakfast show.
Oh, yeah, right, okay. On to the breakfast show, where Alan Brazil was joined by Dean Saunders and the very single... Is that right? The very single Sam Millard.
Bless him.
And Dino's got to be in his bonnet.
That's a disgrace when you have to pay to go to the toilet. Think about it. Your human rights. Surely you should be able to go to the toilet for free.
To a hotel or a pub.
Yeah, but like, how do they charge people to go to the toilet?
Train station to get into the toilet.
Paddington.
Then you've got
There's a barrier.
Yeah.
When you're bursting.
Hold on a minute, have you a problem with your bowels?
No, that is true. I'm with you on that one, Dino.
It's a disgrace.
I couldn't agree with him anymore.
Right.
Paying to pee.
Very true. Come on, give us the closest you've ever been to not kind of getting to the loo in time.
Tell you what, and I don't even care anymore.
Go on.
Pregnant with twins, it happened.
Did it?
It happened.
Well, right. What
Had a wee accident.
But what kind of accident? What sort of accident?
Number one.
Number one. I was going to say.
About going for a
I don't know. You didn't say.
I'm going to live on air that I pooed my pants.
Well, I was going to. I mean, I didn't know where to go with that.
But now you bring it up.
Oh, right, yeah.
I'm kidding.
How do you feel? And
I was pregnant with twins. I was bursting. Okay.
How do you feel about paying to use the loo?
It's an absolute shambles.
Yeah, of course it is.
It's disgraceful. I don't know, but I mean, don't get me wrong, but when you do go in there and then there might be some people there and they're like, giving out whatever you need and whatever like that. They might have chewing gum and all. I don't mind giving them a tip.
Yes.
That's absolutely fine, but paying £1 to go for a pee at a train station,
yep,
mugging is right off.
What's something that you love to have a moan about? If you like, is there anything in particular that seems to really get you back up and you have a continued moan about it?
Loud eaters.
I don't like that either.
Just loud eaters.
Because you get them on trains. If you sit next to someone on the train and they start troughing.
People playing their music out loud.
Yeah, that's a wind up as well. That is a little bit. Yeah.
That lot.
Yeah.
What about you?
No, I'm certainly with you. Loud eaters. It's not good, is it?
No, neither's pooing your pants when you're pregnant.
No, I wouldn't think that's great either.
You're listening to Drive on talkSPORT. Coming up next, we'll talk about anything else, anything at all.
The transfer saga of the summer appears to be centred around Hugo Ekitike. What's the latest? Well, talkSPORT understands Liverpool have tabled a verbal offer of around £70 million. Personal terms are said to have been agreed already. Meanwhile, Villa are considering a double swoop for Premier League outcasts. Alejandro Garnacho is one of the names mooted at Villa Park, as is Chelsea's Nicholas Jackson. Here's talkSPORT's Alex Crook.
He's gone from first choice to third choice at Chelsea in terms of the striking department in the blink of an eye. And there is a relationship there. He played under Unai Emery in Spain. I think I mentioned to you a couple of days ago that there was the possibility of a link-up between those two. And I think Chelsea are open to offers for Nicholas Jackson.
So now we know how Andy Farrell's team will look for the opening Lions test. It's now all a question of how do they perform. talkSPORT's Lions pundit Ben Kay reckons the team's suboptimal performances against the Brumbies and Waratahs may actually help them on Saturday.
Sometimes you need that pressure and fear of losing to bring the best out of you. So I think he'll be happy with where they are going into this weekend. And I certainly, looking at the Wallabies side, would make the Lions favourites.
The first test is on Saturday morning. It's live on talkSPORT. Meanwhile, Arsenal women have confirmed they've signed the world's first £1 million player. 20-year-old Olivia Smith joins from Liverpool. Last year, Chelsea made Naomi Girma the first $1 million player. For all the latest transfer news, head to our live blog at talksport.com. Ahead of the undisputed world heavyweight title fight between Daniel Dubois and Alexander Usyk on Saturday, former 2-weight world champion Carl Frampton has told talkSPORT Dubois' best chance of winning will be in the first half of the fight.
I think he needs to start fast as well, and he definitely has a chance. Look, he's fighting an all-time great, in my opinion, and Alexander Usyk, who is the favourite, but Daniel's a better fighter than the one we seen when they fought the first time in Poland.
talkSPORT will bring you live commentary of the fight this Saturday, with the build-up beginning from 6 p.m. And don't forget to tune into talkSPORT 2 for live commentary of the Open throughout the day.
Good evening. How are you? You're listening to Drive. You're on talkSPORT. It's Shebahn Aherne and Andy Townsend.
Stick it. Shove it as far as you can stick it, where the sun does not shine and never will.
I hate it when you sit on the fence. Damn. Still to come for you on Drive. We're going to hear what happens when Adrian Durham interviewed a Love Island star. All of that coming up. But now, Supersonic Saturday is coming to talkSPORT as we bring you a massive weekend of sport.
What a big weekend we've got on talkSPORT.
Why would you go anywhere else when you've got the talkSPORT network?
The Lions with some momentum. Mario Itoje has a go. And the try is scored.
Sure is bigger than any individual.
It's the pinnacle of our sport.
First test in Brisbane.
Dubois does catch 2 or 3 clean shots, and down he goes to a knee right at the end of the round.
We got conned out of that. VAR, if you can have it in football, bring it in boxing.
This is my chance to, write my name in stone. This is legacy building fight.
Limbs everywhere, beer going everywhere. Pinch it with dart number 2, world champion Luke Littler.
Oh, can't wait. Where to start?
In it goes.
Now that really was superb.
Such a massive tournament, this, the biggest of the golfing calendar for me. There's nothing like the Open Championship.
As you'd expect, we're the place to be. Belting weekend, just a bit.
So good. Couldn't wait to just add in my tuppence worth there.
But there is a lot happening this weekend, isn't there? There's so much. We've got this incredible fight night, which we're going to have for you right here on talkSPORT. We got the golf, we got everything. You got all the football that's going on out there at the minute. Transfers here, there, and everywhere, on the verge of getting done. There's a lot happening.
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't already, you can start by downloading the talkSPORT app, and you can stay across all of our live sport this weekend over on talkSPORT 2. The Open at Royal Portrush is underway. Our full commentary is there for you right now. Will be over the weekend on Saturday. It's the first of the 3 test matches between the Wallabies and the British and Irish Lions. The first test, of course, is in Brisbane. That match is live for you on talkSPORT, 10 o'clock on Saturday. It all gets underway at 11 o'clock. I can't wait for that one. We've also got live commentary of World Match Play Darts from the Winter Gardens in Blackpool over on talkSPORT 2 from 7 o'clock, and then it's the big one Saturday night, Wembley Stadium, Alexander Usyk against Daniel Dubois, live here on talkSPORT. Who's your favourite for that?
I would probably say Usyk, Shebahn. I think purely because I just think he's still very, very good, but what I would really love to see is Daniel rattle him with something a bit useful early on, really get him going, to put him on the back foot. I always like to see the best if I'm watching football. I like to see the best teams challenged and tested. Usyk's the best at the minute. I hope that Daniel tests him with something to make him really think early on.
That's it. I mean, it's got such a fascinating fight. We've got all of it, all of the build-up and live from Wembley Stadium for you this Saturday night, along with the golf, along with the Lions and test match action against the Wallabies as well. And the darts, make sure you download the talkSPORT app, swipe between our stations, and you will not miss a moment. So since we have former Villa captain Andy Townsend in the house today, we thought it'd be a good opportunity to talk to you about the looking ahead to the next season with Aston Villa and what their ambitions should be. They finished 6th in the Premier League last season, will be competing in the Europa League. They've been linked with moves for Man United's Alejandro Garnacho and Chelsea striker Nicholas Jackson. We'll come to them in just a second, but let's start with the Europa League. Such a good opportunity with the manager who knows how to win this trophy.
He does. He's been there course and distance many times. Absolutely knows how to get this one done. They had a fantastic Champions League campaign, Shebahn. I thought they were terrific, Villa, during that. I watched, I think, all of them with Adrian and Jim Proudfoot and the guys at talkSPORT. We really enjoyed that campaign. They were very competitive, very, very good. So I would expect that Villa, they definitely got to get a couple through the door. I think that substantial names. I do think they need to top the squad up a little bit, freshen it again. There's a lot of talk still about Morgan Rogers. I think until the deadline comes and passes, I think he's a player that will be no doubt coveted by others. I still think Emi Martinez will have other teams potentially looking to buy him. And as much as the manager says no, he doesn't want these boys to leave, and I can fully understand why, if the numbers were to get to a point where you have to start making a big decision, then it's going to be interesting. But no, I think Villa will be competitive in the Premier League. Will they be better than they were last season? I think they're capable of the same, something like that. Top 4 position is going to be really hard next time round. But I do think they just need to get a couple through the door.
Yeah, and Europa League, like we say, Unai Emery having won the competition, I think it's 4 times, in the past.
Yeah.
And what's funny, he's won it with Sevilla, he's won it with Villarreal, and now he's at Aston Villa. They've all got Villa in the title.
Yeah, that's a good shout. Where did you get that one? Where did you pluck that one from?
Do you know, I plucked out my backside a long time ago.
Very good, that. Very, very good.
But remember last year it was the year of the bird?
Yeah.
And then Spurs won the trophy. I wonder if it's the year of Villa.
Well, you never know. Look, he's, as you say, they've got the absolute right man for the job to steer him along in that competition. So I hope that they're as good in that as they were in the Champions League.
Interesting. Talk to me then about Garnacho and Nicholas Jackson, because you mentioned Garnacho earlier on, Andy. I mean, there's kind of sometimes that mark, that asterisk against his name.
Yeah, look, I like him, and I think Villa could be the sort of place where potentially he could flourish. I don't know the kid's attitude. Clearly, Ruben Amorim has decided that he doesn't want to know and that he'd rather move him on. But sometimes, You know, if you've had aggro at a club or if you've had issues at a certain club, you get an opportunity elsewhere. You can walk through the door, sort of clean slate, Shebahn, and just show people what you can do. There is no question the boy has great talent, great natural ability. I think Villa could do with a pacey wide man. What I do like about Garnacho, when he's on his game, as soon as he gets the ball in those wide areas, he's just wanting to go 1v1, take people on, get beyond them, make something happen. He's good like that. Perhaps didn't see enough of it towards the end of his time at United, but when he did have those moments when he was really at it at Old Trafford, he's exciting, he's very dangerous. And I do think Villa could do with probably another one like that in those wider areas. Now, Marcus Rashford hasn't stayed, Asensio's gone. So they could probably do one like that.
You do see Unai Emery and you think he gets that player whisperer tag, doesn't he? Bringing the best out of some players. He wasn't put off by bringing Marcus Rashford despite the baggage that was coming with him to Aston Villa. So it'd be good to see what he could do with the likes of Alejandro Garnacho. Yeah,
Garnacho, I get. I'm not so sure about Nicholas Jackson. I mean, look, it's been a tough summer so far for the Chelsea striker, because he's seen João Pedro come into great effect, Liam Delap also now, so he's going to be you'd kind of think third choice for a starting position up the middle for Chelsea, so he's probably going to be surplus and moved on. I'm not quite sure about him, I'll be honest with you, in terms of really making a difference at Villa. I'm not sure he will.
Villa fans, it's your time to take the floor. 03717 22 3344. What's your ambitions for next season? Who needs to come in to keep pushing to have another strong season for Aston Villa? And do you fancy yourself as favourites maybe to win the Europa League? 03717 22 3344 is the number. We'll take your calls very, very soon here on Drive on talkSPORT.
Nearly 2 years ago, the controversy surrounded, was it a low blow, wasn't it a low blow?
I'm sure we'll see it again, but the crowd are booing as soon as it landed. You can see the pain on Usyk.
want, and now we're getting it on the big show, and we're going to put it right.
Gets Shebahn going, and now Shebahn's coming back.
Good evening, how are you doing today? You're listening to Drive on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and Andy Townsend in for Andy Goldstein and Darren Bent with Motorpoint. Thousands of cars, all at unbeatable prices guaranteed. All you have to do is head to motorpoint.co.uk for more details. Still to come, random, but we're going to hear what happened when Adrian Durham interviewed a Love Island star.
Really?
Really. But there's a football crossover. There is a connection.
Right. Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
Stay with me. But apparently he went full fanboy, didn't know what to do.
Is he a Love Island fan then, Aid?
Yeah.
Is he really?
I mean, do you know what? A lot of us do like about Love Island. Jeff Stelling loves it.
I know everyone's got a bit of guilty pleasure TV, but it's not. Love Island ain't mine.
Yeah, watching like 20-year-olds crack on with each other just makes me feel a bit weird.
Yeah.
No,
it's not for me.
Okay,
Clive.
good to know. It would be weird if you were like, I love Love Island. Hi, Andy. Big freak. Just quickly for you, Man United have made a third bid for Brentford forward Brian Mbeumo. That could be worth up to £70 million. Come on, man. Let's get it done. Canada forward Olivia Smith has become the women's most expensive signing in football history by completing a £1 million move to Arsenal from Liverpool. Good luck to her. And also it's the Royal Open Championship at Royal Portrush. Over on talkSPORT 2, watching for us is Sean O'Brien.
Yeah, we've got a six-way tie for the lead at 4 under par. Harris English, Lucas Glover and Christian Bezuidenhout have joined the clubhouse leaders Matt Fitzpatrick, Jacob Skov Ollison and Haotong Lee. And a certain Rory McIlroy is looking to join them. This has been a really promising start. Lose it as he found...
Oh, Sean.
What happened with Sean there? That was sounding very good.
Sean gone. Sean
is gone.
He is gone, but don't worry, you can get all of the latest from Royal Portrush over on talkSPORT 2. Speaking of Love Island, it's finally here. The British and Irish Lions take on the Wallabies in the opening test of the series this Saturday, and it's live for you here on talkSPORT.
Your whole life you've worked for this.
It's the pinnacle of our sport.
The shirt is bigger than any individual.
It's about, so much more than just playing the rugby.
Beats the first, beats the second, he's over the 10-metre line. He's going towards the 22, he beats the fullback, he's gone to the corner. George North, Brentford will get the air. George North scores the try.
For me, it's about the connections you make, the people you meet. Just to play for the Lions is huge. It's just coming on a Lions tour, I just thought was like the best thing since sliced bread.
You come together for 6 or 7 weeks and you almost become sort of best mates, really.
For me, one of the best experiences you can get in rugby.
Jamison Gibson Park picks, goes round the edge, gives to Maro Itoje who gets over the line. Lions have their 4th try of the evening.
As a British and Irish rugby player, this is what you dream of.
It's about bringing together a whole set of different players that you never ordinarily be together.
We just have this understanding that, the Lions jersey is still, I think, for a rugby player, the biggest thing you can wear and the respect that goes with it.
It's just the most incredible tradition. Once every 4 years, the British and Irish Lions rock up and try to make the best rugby team in the world. Andy Farrell is named as squad for the first test against Australia this Saturday. It's live for you here on talkSPORT. Coverage from 10, kick-off at 11. Bearing in mind they're unbeaten still on Aussie soil so far. The Lions head coach spoke to the media on that one. He was asked whether it's experience playing a big factor in picking his squad for this one.
100% throw everything into the mix.
it's a big responsibility representing this group. First up, this is what we came for, Test match football. It's a big responsibility to show each other how we're going to attack this game. So you obviously take into consideration a lot of things, obviously form, but a big part of that as well is big match temperament, and I think we've got a good few of those in the starting lineup.
Andy Farrell there discussing his Test squad selection. I know somebody who's going to, I think, have a lot to say about one particular member of the team who didn't make it into the Test squad, and that's former British and Irish Lion Alex Cuthbert. Is with a big smile on your face, Alex, but you're secretly raging, I think, under that smile for Jack Morgan.
Yeah, how's it going, guys? Yeah, I'm absolutely gutted, I think, for him, really. I don't think he could have probably done much more in the tour, but me being in that environment and been there and done it, I can see where Andy Farrell's coming from with experienced players that have been in these massive games like it is tomorrow. And I can see why he's probably gone more Tom Curry over Jack. But as a Welshman, I'm absolutely gutted for him.
Yeah. Alex, what's that like when you play these warm-up games and the squad's very much together, and then you're all waiting to find out that first selection, whether you're in it or whether you're not? That must be, because in football, obviously, in my time in football, you never knew the team until literally when you turned up at the ground on the day of the game, really. Whereas, it's very different now. So what's that like when you don't make that first squad? How disappointing?
Yeah, it's tough because obviously I think, especially if you're a player that's played well in those warm-up games, you won't know the squad until, I think they would have probably been told Tuesday. So you would have had training Monday, and then they would have been probably told Tuesday morning, I think, as a squad, maybe a little bit later. And then that's usually your last chance to maybe, smash the hell out of each other and try and get in that 23, But Andy Farrell had his squad early on in the start of that week. I think you could tell, the likes of Benner got pulled off last week after about 50-odd minutes. Jack Morgan played obviously 80. So you can sort of look into certain aspects of it. But as a player, I was lucky enough to start the first test, right, but I knew what it felt like being dropped in the second test.
Right.
So I can imagine, obviously being not selected for the first, it was one of the worst feelings I've ever had, because at that time, it was the first time I'd ever been dropped, Andy, So a lot of these players, this is the first time, because they're the best players, in their representative countries. This is sometimes one of the first times they've ever been dropped. So I guess Andy Farrell then would like to see how these sort of players react going forward. There's still a lot of big games to come.
That's the thing, Alex, though, with Jack Morgan not getting a space, and there's still 2 more tests after this one, so he can still get his opportunity. But what he has been certain about through every press conference is that it's not going to be just down to experience. It will be down to those people who have been throwing their hands up to getting themselves a test start. And Jack Morgan really couldn't have done any more.
No, literally couldn't. I think I had a look at some of the stats this morning, and he's the top tackler. I think he's near enough on the carriers, the breakdown, the turnovers. He literally couldn't have done any more. But when you're at this high level intensity, these top level test matches, experience counts for so much. And I'm not saying Jack's not experienced, but everything happening from now to Saturday is new to him.
Okay.
Whereas the likes of Tom Curry, I know, and Tyburn, that's a player I could have questioned whether he would have started, because form-wise, he's not playing well. But his experience in those big games, and Andy Farrell, he's picked his core Irish players that he's relied on, year after. So, in one way it's a gamble, but then it's another way it's quite a clever sort of way of looking at it.
John Hartson's actually tweeted the Lions. I don't know if any of you saw that tweet. saying it really, British and Irish Lions. No Jack Morgan, but listen, fingers crossed from moving forward.
Yes.
In terms of the rest of the team selection there, like you say, Tyburn, you were maybe concerned that he wouldn't find himself into the test squad. Is there any other players that you're looking at and thinking, they could be a doubt maybe for the second test if it doesn't go well for them?
No, I actually probably think that's near enough Andy Farrell's best team. Maybe the bench, you could have argued maybe Owen Farrell maybe snuck on, but I think Marcus Smith has done a fair amount, and he can cover 10 as well. I think you had to pick the Scottish centre partnership.
Yeah.
I think Hugh Jones has gone really, really well. Tuapolot has been a bit quiet, but you think he hasn't played a lot of rugby this year, but he's a very good player. And I think if you've got that Scottish axis, hopefully they can drive the team forward. But for me, I think it's going to be one up front, the front five. Against that, if you look at that Australian team, that is where I think we can really get after them.
Yeah.
And then obviously with their new caps as well, I think they've got one in the back row and they're 10.
Yeah.
First start at 10. You know, he's going to have an absolute nightmare. I think, you know, Tom Curry is going to be all over him.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be a tough outing for him, I think.
A lot's been said about the Australian team, Alex, because a lot said it's not the strongest group of players, etc., and that this could be a really, really good tour for the Lions. So I wonder how that will fire the Australian boys up.
Yeah, well, you know, probably a couple of Aussies that play football. They're a tough, niggly bunch, aren't they? The Aussies, you know, they don't give up. They're not going to want to just lie over in their backyard. You know, to go down there, I don't, it's hard to explain how hard it is to play, even if you are 100%. The Aussies love it when their backs to the wall. And I think if you look through their squad, they have some quality players, you know, but few real good ones missing. You know, like Will Skelton, who's about 7 foot and 150 kgs. That is a big man to miss. Valentini, they're 10. I think they're 9 and 10 are the two positions where we have got real world-class quality, and they probably are lacking in that area.
Right.
And that, for me, are the two positions where we can really put the game on Australia in terms of territory position and just guiding our team around, whereas they're quite inexperienced. You know, all it takes is one long kick out on the full, and you know, and it starts building that pressure on the young lad.
Listen, Alex, I'm absolutely more than ready now for the test games, because the warm-ups have been great and they've been full of conversation. I'm sure you're buzzing for it as well. So thank you so much for
thank you, Alex.
Looking ahead to it for us. Alex Cuthbert, former Lion, with us there. Don't forget, Drive tomorrow. You can hear Lions preview show with Topsy Ojo, and Alex Cuthbert himself is going to be on that tomorrow from 8 o'clock after Drive here on talkSPORT. Still to come, we're going to be joined by Adrian Durham. But before that, let's do this. Before Adrian Durham joins us, we want to know who is the top scorer in Premier League history with the initials AD.
AD?
AD, the top scorer in Premier League history.
So with the same initials as Adrian?
With the initials AD. Fabulous, fabulous question. If you know this, seriously, send us your CV. We'll give you the answer next on Drive.
Absolute garbage.
The transfer saga of the summer appears to be centred around Hugo Ekitike. What's the latest? Well, talkSPORT understands Liverpool have tabled a verbal offer of around £70 million. Personal terms are said to have been agreed already. Meanwhile, Villa are considering a double swoop for Premier League outcasts. Alejandro Garnacho is one of the names mooted at Villa Park, as is Chelsea's Nicholas Jackson. Here's talkSPORT's Alex Crook.
He's gone from first choice to third choice at Chelsea in terms of the striking department in the blink of an eye. And there is a relationship there. He played under Unai Emery in Spain.
So now we know how Andy Farrell's team will look for the opening Lions test. It's now all a question of how do they perform. talkSPORT's Lions pundit Ben Kay reckons the team's suboptimal performances against the Brumbies and Waratahs may actually help them on Saturday.
Sometimes you need that pressure and fear of losing to bring the best out of you. So they'll be happy with where they are going into this weekend. And I certainly, looking at the Wallabies side, would make the Lions favourites.
Ahead of the undisputed world heavyweight title fight between Daniel Dubois and Alexander Usyk on Saturday, former 2-weight world champion Carl Frampton has told talkSPORT Dubois' best chance of winning will be in the first half of the fight.
He needs to start fast. He definitely has a chance. Daniel's a better fighter than the one we've seen when they fought the first time.
talkSPORT will bring you live commentary of the fight this Saturday, with the build-up beginning from 6 p.m. Good evening, how are you doing today? You're listening to Drive here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and Andy Townsend with you, in for Andy Goldstein and Darren Bent. Adrian Durham is going to be with us very, very soon. So we had no Googling just before the break. We want to know who is the top scorer in Premier League history with the initials AD. If you got this right, you're an absolute genius. If you Googled it, you're a disgrace. Abdoulaye Doucouré, 36 Premier League goals for Everton and Watford. If you got that right, fair play to you. Coming up at 7 o'clock tonight here on talkSPORT, Adrian Durham hosts live coverage of Sweden against England in the quarter-finals of the Women's Euros. They're on track to go and retain the championship. Now, in just a moment, we'll welcome Adrian Durham to the show, the voice of live football here at talkSPORT, to look ahead to that game. But first, let's hear what happened. Let's hear a little bit of what happened when he caught up with a big Love Island star. He's been sitting down with Giorgio Russo, England striker Alessio Russo's brother, and a contestant on the reality show Love Island this year. He spoke about not knowing how the Lionesses were getting on whilst in the villa.
The lads have gone out on a field trip to Switzerland, and Adrian's been a bad boy.
In the villa, you're in a complete bubble. You completely shut off from the outside world. You don't even know the time of the day. So there was not a chance that they were ever going to tell me the result. But as soon as I came out and was able to catch up on things, I caught up on the results and yeah, was very impressed that they've made it obviously to the quarters and jumped on a plane as quick as I could.
Giorgio Russo there, speaking to Adrian Durham. You can hear this interview in full very, very soon. We're also going to have it live up on the talkSPORT YouTube channel soon. Let's find out now what it's like to interview a Love Islander with this man.
Topping up his tan, there's a new contestant, our live football reporter, Adrian Durham, who's looking more red than an embarrassed lobster.
Obviously, I didn't write that. Adrian, how are you, buddy? You settled down?
That was you speaking, wasn't it?
Ah, very good. Very good. My brother, Ian Sterling, there.
It's very sunny, and the embarrassed lobster is just about right, certainly if you look at the back of my neck. But yeah, it's great. Actually, I'm very, very nervous ahead of the game tonight, as you'd expect. I'm in the press box overlooking the pitch. Players have just been out on the field mingling, the Sweden and England players, which is interesting. I'll get the views of Tash Dowie and Courtney Sweetman-Kirk on that in a bit. But yeah, the sun is shining. A lot of the pitch is bathed in shade, though, so we're in for a big night. This is a terrific game ahead with two good sides.
Do you know what, Adrian? I mean, I want to talk to you more about Giorgio Russo in just a second, but let's focus on the game first, because I just don't see in a world that England don't smash them. I just keep thinking what happened in 2022, Russo being the prime player to speak about here, the iconic Alessio Russo back heel in that game. They just ran riot.
They did. The Sweden manager yesterday explained that one away by saying COVID affected them badly. In meetings that they had, where they normally had a lot of banter and there was a lot of opinions shared and there was a lot of laughter, they all had masks on and it didn't help them. At the time, it felt to me like he was making excuses because he didn't give England any credit for the 4-0 win. And if you remember as well on the night, at 0-0, Sweden had a really good chance and didn't take it, and Mary Earps made a great save at 0-0 as well.
Yep.
And England went on to win it and win it comfortably. So I understand what you're saying. I think it's hard to read Sweden. There's two ways of looking at it. They've been unbeaten for a year, so therefore you're thinking, well, this is a good side, certainly a side that's hard to beat. But in that unbeaten run, there's been 2 draws with Wales. So are they that good? I think it's so hard to read them. Listen, if they turn it on tonight, England will have to be at their very best. But Tash Dowie said to me earlier, if they're both at their best, England win.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I agree completely with Tash Dowie there, and that's with no disrespect to Sweden. I mean, we've heard from Asllani, the Swedish captain. She was speaking to the press yesterday, and you know, they do go under the radar, and they won the competition in 1984, the first tournament. They've lost something like 4 finals, so why don't we put a little bit more respect in their name, maybe in times gone by, leading into the tournament?
Yeah, 1984 was a long time ago. You weren't even born.
Oh,
I mean,
calm down. Talk to me about 66, mate, and then don't at me.
I was there. No, I wasn't even born. But it's a long time ago. I mean, in recent times, yeah, they've been the bridesmaid. They will be underwhelmed with their own haul of trophies, you'd have to say. But it doesn't mean they're not going to win it this year. There's some strong teams. I think this is an upgrade in quality from what we've seen before. I think it's a breakthrough tournament in terms of the quality of the football, certainly the quality of the quarter-finalists. I mean, the game last night, Italy was sensational against Norway. So good. France have been brilliant. Germany less so. Sweden, I think, have been terrific, won all 3 of their games. Terrific in the air as well. And England for 2 of the 3 games, absolutely magnificent. So there's some real quality. We all know about Spain. There's some real quality, I think, here. And you just can't discount Sweden. And they have some real backing. I was in this stadium in Zurich on Saturday when they beat the Germans 4-1. I stood with the soft hooligans, which is what they call the Swedish fans, and they made some great noise. They were really good. They brought some real colour and life to the terraces, the stands here in this tournament. They're fantastic.
Soft hooligans, but absolutely beautiful at the exact same time. England,
I was, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you were. The lobster in there amongst them. What do you think England will have to do tonight, Adrian? I mean, do you think they've still got that boot up the backside that they needed against France? I mean, where do you think mentally they're at for this game?
I think they have. My only concern is the Wales game, with respect, was so easy. It was just a joke, really. And I don't mean any disrespect.
Sounded
and they actually kept... Well, it is, but it's the way it was. It was incredibly easy, maybe too easy to go from that, and it's going to be difficult to go from that and how easy that was to this, which is not going to be anywhere near as straightforward. So I'm sure the preparation has been about that and getting that, making sure that intensity is still there. But in Lauren James, you've got a player that it's hard to play against. Once she's in control of a game, you're never going to get that control back. So it's about her control of the game, how she orchestrates things to a certain extent, how long she can stay on the pitch as well is another question. So England have it all in their hands, but if they don't play at their best, then they're vulnerable. I think that's against Sweden. That's clear.
We shouldn't look too far ahead, but let's say the Lionesses do get a win tonight. On paper, looking at the next game in the semi-final, it would be Italy they'd be facing, which seems like a winnable game. But you watched that performance from them last night. They've got grit, Adrian.
Yeah, I mean, listen, all this stuff about, they've got them in the next, if they win this, it's them next, and that's going to be straightforward. I stopped doing all that in 2016 at the Men's Euros when everybody was elated that we had Iceland instead of Portugal in the first knockout game, and of course they absolutely imploded and were useless against Iceland. So I never ever look at that stuff. And the winning goal last night for Italy was brilliant.
Stunning.
A fantastic ball in. She's watched it all the way. Yeah, all right, there's no marking going on whatsoever. But it's a terrific header, and she is a terrific header of the ball. So, I'm not taking anybody for granted. I'm not thinking, this is the easy route or we'll beat Italy or anything like that. I can't subscribe to those views at all. You've got to get the game won. So, I know it sounds a cliche and it sounds like I'm Serena Wiegmann, but I'm just focusing on this game.
Fair enough, absolutely fair enough. Talk to me about then Alessio Russo's brother, Giorgio Russo, who is a big fan of talkSPORT, because I remember at the Women's Euros final 3 years ago, he came into Box Park with his dad and his mum, who are just lovely people, and their brother, and they're big talkSPORT listeners. So now he's been on Love Island, he's sitting down with you at talkSPORT. It's great.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, he was good as gold. He was great with us. There's loads of stuff on our social media channels with regard to Giorgio Russo, and he really played ball. There's some really funny stuff going on there, so check that out. And the whole thing, as you say, it's already up on the YouTube channel, so check that out. A lot of it is about Love Island and getting some insight and who he thinks is going to win, and there's some serious gossip there. A lot is about Alessio Russo and how they were as they were growing up. The brothers used to put her in goal.
I think a lot of brothers did that, to be fair. Yeah. I think Reece James did that to Lauren James as well.
Maybe it did him some good, but no, he was brilliant. He was fantastic with us. Spent a long time with us this morning, and we're very grateful for that on a match day as well. And he's just got out of the Villa, so he's a really good lad. And there's a kind of stereotype that we all have in our heads, and about those who go into the Villa, those who go on Love Island. He really isn't. I've known him a number of years, and he really isn't that guy. He's just a lovely guy, and as you say, they are a lovely family as well. And big talkSPORT listeners. He told me this morning that when he was little and they were all in the car as little kids, his dad used to have talkSPORT on, and it was only on medium wave then, and they used to dip in and out, and the kids were angry about it, and Mario Russo would not change channel. So they did grow up with talkSPORT.
Brilliant. And now their daughter is absolutely ripping it up for England, a European champion, a champion for Arsenal as well, and the European winners, of course, this season, perhaps could go retain it for England once more. Adrian Durham, our voice of live football, enjoy the game tonight. Fingers crossed for you, okay?
Thank you very much. And just a reminder, that Champions League winning goal scored by the Sweden striker Blackstenius, so one to watch for there, yeah.
Jeez, I forgot all about that moment for just a second. I know. Stina Blackstenius against Alessio Russo up against Leah Williamson. It's just too much for my tiny pea brain to handle. You can have it all live for you here on talkSPORT tonight. The Lionesses in quarter-final action against Sweden. Lovely stuff. You're listening to Drive here on talkSPORT. Coming up next, we're going to continue to build up to what is a massive weekend here on talkSPORT. We'll get the team news, of course, for England against Sweden very soon, and we'll look ahead to that big fight at Wembley this weekend.
2 years ago, the controversy surrounded, was it a low blow, wasn't it a low blow?
I'm sure we'll see it again, but the crowd are booing as soon as it landed. You can see the pain on Usyk.
This is what I want, and now we're getting it. It's a big show, and we're going to put it right.
Gets Dubois going, and now Dubois coming back.
How you doing today? You're listening to Drive here on talkSPORT with Shebahn Aherne and Andy Townsend and ABBA. I guess that's because Sweden are playing the Lionesses tonight.
Yeah. Have you seen the ABBA show? Have you
ABBA Voyager.
ABBA Voyager.
I haven't seen it. I've heard it's unreal.
My wife's seen it, said it was absolutely brilliant. Absolutely amazing. That is a spark of genius. That idea, Shebahn, that is incredible and they can roll that show out night after night in tons of countries all across the world. Amazing.
The amount of people who've said it's pricey, but it's an unbelievable number. I've seen Bjorn again. You know, the tribute band?
Right.
And they do like big tours and they were excellent.
They're good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very, very good. We're here with Motorpoint, new car with same day drive away available on all cars. You can book a test drive today. Like we say, 7 o'clock tonight. Just following us here on talkSPORT. It's Sweden against England, the quarterfinals of the Women's Euros. And I believe the team news is in, so we can cross over now to Joe Shannon, our commentator tonight. Joe, with the team news, please.
Good evening, Shebahn. Yes, from sunny Switzerland here, where England are unchanged after their hammering of Wales in their final group game in St Gallen. 6-1. No surprise that Sarina Wiegman has elected to go with the same starting 11 as England look to reach the semi-finals. Hampton then in goal, Bronze, Williamson, Carter and Greenwood at the back, Stanway and Walsh the two holding, James, Toone and Hemp behind Alessia Russo up front. Sweden will provide stern opposition, no question about that. But if England can make the last four, the pathway to the final really opens up for them. It could be Italy in the semi-finals, and that would be a very favourable draw, you would think, for the Lionesses. But first, they have to get past Sweden here in Zurich, and the whole game, the whole quarter-final, will be live on talkSPORT.
Can't wait. Joe Shannon, thank you very much, our commentator tonight, watching that game for us out there in beautiful Switzerland. Have you been before, Switzerland?
Yes, I have been to Switzerland quite a few times, Shebahn. Beautiful country, do love it. It's got that, it's just it seemingly has that peaceful element to it whenever you go there, and the scenery is spectacular. If you fly into Geneva and sort of go up into the Swiss mountains that way, oh my goodness, it is pretty spectacular.
Yeah, also great chocolate, which is a main thing.
Which is nice.
Which we don't mind.
We don't mind that.
And if you want some good meatballs, you know where to go.
IKEA. I'm there.
IKEA for your Swedish.
I mean, I'd have thought me local Italian or something.
No.
But IKEA apparently, and we've had a number of texts earlier on in the show actually backing you up there saying they are sensational.
Unreal. Honestly, best things I've tasted. Don't Google how they make them though. Okay, it's day one also in another beautiful country, Northern Ireland, at Royal Portrush. Sean O'Brien is watching for talkSPORT.
Yes, spectacular scene here indeed. Drop shot for Rory McIlroy on 11, but this has been a brilliant start. You can't win it on day one, but you can lose it, as he found out in 2019. And those demons seem to have been banished here. He's 2 under par, just 2 shots off the lead, and he's still got 7 holes of round 1 to play. That lead is now shared by 5 players, with Lucas Glover and Christian Bezuidenhout joining Matt Fitzpatrick, Jakob Skov Olesen and Haotong Lee. It's a bunch leaderboard, so I'll give you the notables. England's Tyrrell Hatton is flying on 3 under, just 1 shot back. Justin Rose is looking good at the Open once again. He's on 2 under par. And Scotland's Bob McIntyre is at 1 under. Plenty of golf still left to play this evening. This back 9 could get interesting. The heavens keep threatening to open, and there are thunderstorms in the area. The wind is getting up. And just a reminder, world number 1 Scotty Scheffler is safely in the clubhouse, just 1 shot off the lead. He was the overwhelming pre-tournament favourite, and I imagine those odds have tumbled already. So Rory's on the charge, 5-way tie at the top, including Matt Fitzpatrick, and there's live coverage over on talkSPORT too.
Interesting. Scotty Scheffler, sitting at 3 under just now, Sean. I mean, honestly, that press conference it had us all a bit speechless, didn't it? What he'd come out and said about golf and what's the point. And the fact that in his opening round he can play the way he plays, I mean, the guy's just a naturally gifted freak.
Yeah, that was a really bizarre moment. I think the context behind that is that Scotty Scheffler is not usually the most exciting personality, and there he was just pouring his heart out in front of the world's media. And I think one thing to kind of note about Scotty Scheffler is he is a really, really devout Christian. He really leans heavily on his faith. That kind of influences all of his decision making and his perspective on life. And he is just the most devoted father and husband as well. But I do think there is a chance he maybe just overcomplicated being the best golfer in the world. I mean, Scotty, it's not that deep that you win golf tournaments and win tens of millions of dollars. I mean, I would be pretty happy with that if I was you. But yeah, it was a really, really strange moment. Really refreshingly honest, I thought.
Can we just get you to update our listeners on what you mentioned about Christian Bisdees and how a little bit earlier on, because the story of his upbringing and what happened to him is quite remarkable if you haven't heard about it.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. This is a lovely story, and the Open throws up so many of these, and you can read so many more over on talksport.com. We interviewed Ryan Peake, who's the ex motorbike gang member who came out of prison and turned his life around. He's playing at the Open. But Christian Bezuidenhout is a wonderful story. He was banned from playing at Portrush back in 2014 in the Amateur Championship due to the use of beta blockers. Now, the reason he had to use those is pretty remarkable. He swallowed rat poison as a toddler, and he's using them to cope with anxiety and a speech impediment that he still struggles with to this day. But there he is, leading the Open at 4 under par, and he's still got 2 holes left to play, actually, so he could grab the clubhouse lead outright. So a wonderful story there, and a brilliant underdog to root for.
Yeah, Sean O'Brien, thank you so much.
Thank you, Sean.
All of it is live over on talkSPORT 2. Yeah, I remember watching it a few years ago, Christian Bezuidenhout, and he had done an interview, and he really struggles with a stammer, and
right.
He was saying to the interview that day what happened when he was a wee boy. He was playing in the street, and he'd picked up a can of Coke. And he drank from it. It wasn't his can of juice.
Right.
And it actually had contained rat poison.
Oof.
And it led to him having all of these different, issues, and it affected all of his nerves and stuff like that. And the fact that he is a professional golfer and he's overcame what he's overcame to where he is now, sitting fourth on the leaderboard.
Incredible story, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Do you know, going back to the Scotty Scheffler one, Shebahn, lots of people playing various sports. I'm not saying Scotty doesn't love golf. He's just been... It's the way that I think that interview went, and of course lots of people are saying, he should try doing what we're all doing for a living, etc., etc. And I get people's response to that. But lots of people in various sports don't actually always love the sport that they're involved in.
It's their job, maybe.
There've been a lot of footballers down the years that actually never are quite well known to have never really liked the game.
Ben White of late comes to mind. They say he doesn't love it.
He's one that has been put in that sort of category. I remember Ben White, Asuikoto, who used to play for Spurs years ago. I think I remember hearing people talking about him openly didn't like the game really. Just happened to be good at it, So it does. It's kind of happened quite a lot in various sports, I would think.
And refreshing to hear, you know. I'm just going to put my family first.
Yeah.
You know, it's so
Nothing
refreshing
wrong
to hear. Listen, you've got a magic weekend and a magic week ahead here of sport on talkSPORT. Commentary of the undisputed world heavyweight title fight as well. This Saturday between Alexander Usyk and Daniel Dubois. That's live from Wembley Stadium. British heavyweight Dave Allen is going to be part of our expert boxing team. He's going to be with the guys tomorrow morning on talkSPORT Breakfast for Usyk against Dubois, live from Wembley this weekend. Before that, 11 o'clock kickoff down in Brizzy, baby, for the Lions, the British and Irish Lions, in that first test against the Wallabies. And of course, you've got the golf building up to that. That's live on talkSPORT 2 from the Royal Open, and the Lionesses in quarter-final action tonight against Sweden. Andy Townsend, it's been an absolute
Thank you, Shebahn.
Speaking to you. Lovely stuff. That was a look ahead to the big fight, all thanks to DAZN. DAZN. Anyone. DAZN. Okay, coming up next here, we are building up to a huge night for the Lionesses here on talkSPORT. Good luck to them. A little bit of a ball with Caesars through a little bit of dead air time. Good luck to the Lionesses tonight in quarter-final action against Sweden. It's on the way next on talkSPORT.